Egg on a nice, salty, big-time base brawl. I do. I kind of liked it. And I know that I have a rooting interest in one of the teams. I mean, there are a lot of jokes to put in there from last night, too. Hey, look at these two teams fighting for the last place in the NL Central. Oh, that's fine. But when you've had enough, you've kind of had enough, right? Yeah, not only when you've had enough, but then, I mean, if you're Amir Garrett last night, you just gave up a yacker, and they're talking junk to you. And it's one thing if you stand out there and you talk and you act all tough, but my man goes right at him. I mean, that was not your garden variety, please, 19 guys get in between me in hopes that it's broken up. It's not the Mike going to the kegger at the Moon Tower at Dazed and Confused. I'm going to start this crap, but I hope that somebody gets between us so actually I don't get punched. He's taking on everybody. That was awesome. That was awesome. And I don't think anybody out there knows, especially those that suggest that, oh, this is all wrong, and what about the kids, and, what are we going to do setting this type of standard, for the younger generation. I mean, what you probably did last night, honestly, at the end of July during the baseball season on a Tuesday night, is you probably had a lot of folks, including kids, going, hey, wait a minute, baseball. What? Baseball. And it's probably wrong, but I do. Because I do not lie to you. I was digging on it, and I like Amir Garrett a lot more today than I did yesterday. And I'm bummed out because the Reds traded away, and I liked him. I told you this before that. He may not have put up the numbers that everybody wanted. I don't know, Reds fans wise. Listen, we're always disappointed in something. I mean, Reds fans, and that's just in general terms what it's like to be a Cincinnati fan. Because you're always going to be disappointed in something. Always. So a little bit of a Cincinnati fan has rubbed off on me because I'm a Reds fan. Therefore, I'm always ready with the Reds to be disappointed on nearly everything and be bummed out about everything. But last night, even in the loss, I thought, hey, what's enough is enough with old Red Face over there. I mean, red-ass Clint Hurdle. And I know nobody likes Derek Dietrich, and he's probably the last guy in the world that anybody would say, well, you got to protect this guy. But you know what? You do. That's what you feel. I mean, think about Puig last night. Puig was doing that, and Puig was no longer a member of the team. That's awesome. And nobody wanted to mess with Puig. I didn't want Puig traded. I don't know what's going on with Bauer. I kind of thought that they were going to flip Bauer to somewhere else. I wanted Puig to stay. I wanted him to stay. I know, well, Puig threw a hissy fit over a pitch that was clearly a strike, and he did throw a hissy fit. You would, too, if you had competitive fire and just not some big straight-up wuss bag. I mean, you'd probably be pissed off, too. I would be. Anybody ever play the game of baseball and be a little bit upset with the strike zone? You can't relate to that, even wherever you played in Colt baseball or Pony League or Babe Ruth or Legion ball or whatever the hell you did. You ever be upset with a strike zone? Sure. I needed that last night. I thought that was fun. I was a little disappointed because I know that I guess that's what you have to do if you're a member of the broadcasting baseball media. You got to kind of jump on board with well, this just can't happen, and we have to get this out of the game. But for me, I was kind of more entertained. That was more entertaining than the game itself. I mean, what'd you come out of it? Your jerseys got ripped. But, I mean, listen, this has been going down. I mean, hell, last night, there's probably a lot of the baseball viewing community that just got introduced to both these teams because they've been either next to last or last in the NL Central. But last night, hey, you know what? These are the Reds and the Pirates, and they play. And what everybody didn't know is this has gone on since the beginning of the year. Since our friend Tucker Barnhart was hanging on to Yasiel Puig's ankle at PNC Park, this has been going on since the beginning of the year. So Judge me how you want to judge me, and clearly you will, because we are the most judgmental people right now in the history of the universe. I was digging on last night's base brawl. Let the judging begin. You know, and I'm not somebody that comes off the top rope all the time and tries to tell you how big of a man I am or anything like that. Well, this is what we would do back. No, I just enjoyed it. From a fan standpoint and from a team standpoint and from a, you know what, these guys have had enough. That's what I was thinking last night. Reds and Pirates going at it today. I think Tucker got beamed, did he not, in that game? I didn't see it, though, so I don't know if there was anything behind it. I actually sent something to C. Trent Rosecrans and asked him if Tucker charged them out or anything, but he didn't. I think the Pirates actually just made a trade, right? The Corey Dickerson, who looked like stinking Babe Ruth last night in that game. Corey Dickerson, who had a couple of home runs and kind of inspired, I think. Was he the one that inspired Amir Garrett's outrage, I think? He just got traded from the Pirates to the Phillies. And I know Reds fans, in closing, and we will get to the Colts, but Reds fans, I like Yasiel Puig, and I'm going to like Yasiel Puig wherever he goes. Before, I didn't really care, and I just thought he was kind of a sideshow, a little bit of a sideshow. And as much of a sideshow as he is watching him this year, the dude plays the way that all you old crotchety folks out there want baseball to be played. So shut up. You know, anybody that ever watched a game back in 1975, this is the way the baseball should be played. That's how he played it. He may lick his bat. He may get mad at Strope. I mean, listen, who doesn't get mad at Strope? All you Cubs fans wanted to punch Strope all year. Stand in line. So I like Yasiel Puig, and I now am a Yasiel Puig fan. Even though he's going to go and play in Cleveland. I like Yasiel Puig. Anyway, we'll get back to that if you guys want. You know, whether or not that should be taken from the game itself. And, the humanity of last night in Cincinnati. It is kind of funny watching nobody. I mean, nobody wants to mess with Puig. Zero. Nobody. That part is pretty funny, too. I mean, even his own players and like some of the bench coach, the coaching staff trying to grab his elbow, and he wasn't having any of it. And there's no fakeness there. You know, a lot of this stuff, right, is fake. I mean, you see it all the time. A lot of this outrage is fake. It's like the world we live in. So much of this outrage is fake. I'll give you a great point. I wasn't outraged that LeBron James got in the layup line with his kid in an AAU event. I thought it was dumb because if any other father would, we'd all think it was dumb. And we'd all go, oh, what are you doing there, Dad? Right? But I wasn't outraged by it, and I didn't have to come up with fake outrage about it. We live in a world now where on a daily basis so many people have to come up with fake outrage. It just drives you crazy. I was entertained by last night. I wasn't outraged by it. But I'm sure somebody's going to find something. Got to take it out. Too many kids saw it last night. Like the Tony Stewart video. You know, not back. Stewart, you probably shouldn't go punch somebody, but you're in that position and some jackass is up on you like that, then who knows? Who knows how you might respond? I did love the running punch. That so reminded me of Jermaine O'Neal here. Remember Jermaine O'Neal in the brawl in Detroit? Back in 2004, remember when he slipped? And had he not slipped, there would be somebody that would have his entire jaw sprawled all out on the floor of the Palace of Auburn Hills. And he slipped, and Garrett just whiffed. And that was a flying left-handed hook right there that did not find a landing spot. It was probably better off that he didn't. Anyway, we can discuss that if you like at 239-1070. I thought that you probably would like this a little bit more, you know, and where we are about, you know, taking things out of a game like hockey. They're taking fighting out of the game, right? You got to get hiding out of the game. It's always kind of been part of the game. to me, and I'm not a huge observer of hockey, so I probably should not have much of an opinion here. Or at least I probably would not have an educated opinion here. But if you were watching last night, or if you're a Reds fan, or even if you're one of the dirtbag Pirate fans out there, you probably knew that something like this was going to happen between two of these. Hey, you're in the cellar? No, I'm in the cellar. You're in the cellar? I'm in the cellar. You just knew this was coming. And you got old school, probably beach nut chewing in the dugout, Clint Hurdle. And David Bell. The one thing that David Bell is going to get suspended. I haven't seen anything yet, suspension-wise. He's going to get suspended for a long time. Can you look up, when was the last time a manager got suspended for a lengthy amount of time? He's going to be suspended for a while. He got tossed out of the game for like the 300th time this year. And then he came charging out of the clubhouse and then got into the chaos, into the fracas, only to be thrown down by the hitting coach. Was that the hitting coach of the Pirates? Took him to the ground and held him down. That was not a good night for David Bell. Not a good night at all. Yeah, I know you're standing up for your players and all. He comes charging out of the clock. I can't imagine he's not going to get a lengthy suspension. Like, I'm thinking about the suspensions of old school, right? When umpires really used to get into it with umpires, or umpires used to get into it with managers. Like Rose and Pallone, if you guys remember that one. And then you had when Marty and Joe Nuxall made the comments up in the Reds booth, about Pallone. Or Earl Weaver from the Orioles for his antics. Lou Piniella probably has had a lengthy suspension in his past. Billy Martin, without question. Those days are kind of gone now because you just take that equation out. Here's the other thing, too. It'd be kind of funny. How will this be addressed with the Domo Arigato Mr. Roboto umpires that they want to utilize one of these days? When we get C-3PO behind the plate, what the hell's going to happen then? And this is in honor of everything that's going on around here this weekend. Gen Con, spend that money and have a great time. But once they put R2-D2 and C-3PO behind the plate and in the field, this will really get interesting. And it's not like these guys helped last night. I mean, these guys knew that this thing was well out of control. It was well past your normal brawl, and they just kind of got out of the way. But what are you going to do when you got the robotics class working this thing? That's pretty funny. Let's see, 3PO behind the plate. Got R2-D2 down the right field line. Fair foul call coming. But no, I thought it was entertaining last night. And if you've watched these two teams play baseball this year, in fact, you knew that it was coming. If you'd like to discuss, we certainly can. I thought that was a little bit more interesting to start the day than talking about Andrew Luck's calf, which we did yesterday. And I'm even more calm today, even though really nothing has changed, than I was yesterday, because I'm going to really try hard. I am trying my damnedest to refuse to be upset and to freak out over this. We've got columns, we have blogs, we have everybody chiming in about how this doesn't sound right, and now all of a sudden we're reading body language again and facial expressions, and I don't want any part of it. All right? I'll be completely honest with you. I don't want any part of trying to read the facial expressions and the terms and the body language of Andrew Luck. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to sit back, and hopefully by week number 1, guy's going to be ready to go, just as I've been told. Yesterday before the show, I was told, hey, you don't want to go all in on this because it's going to turn out to be nothing, and you're going to look back on this and be embarrassed. And my response was, well, I've looked back on a lot and been very embarrassed often, so this is going to be kind of par for the course here. So, no, seriously, no. Just wait. It is all going to be just fine. It is going to be like Caesar Rayford here. Or it's going to be like Drew Haddad. It is going to be the story of training camp, and then once the season is underway, completely forgotten. I think those are two really quality examples. Stories of training camp so easily forgotten once the season gets underway, the real season. So they call it sticking to the process out there. I'm going to call it sticking to the process right here. I'm going to stick to the process. And my process is not getting upset. Anybody with me on that? I tell you what, anybody with me on that? Are you doing it just because you're with me, or that you actually believe that everything is going to be okay? What do you think? Do you really believe that everything's going to be okay, or are you just saying it because, you know what, you're kind of worn out from being a part of this debate? Because now, with Andrew Luck and injury stuff and whether or not he's going to play or throw or move or walk or roll over or ride his bike, I mean, honestly, this is starting to become a go-to around here. It's like a go-to of class basketball. Like when I came up and I was doing this with others, when there was not content readily available, when there was nothing go-to, I mean, it was always, Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, class basketball, or, Bob Knight can't coach anymore. And then people would flood the phone lines, pissed off about something, upset about something, or agreeing with you about something. This is kind of becoming that. And frankly, I don't want it to become that, and those things wear me out, so I'm trying my damnedest just for you. What do they say? Stay in your lane? I'm trying to stay in my lane. I'm not going to veer over, kind of lose it over stuff. Well, wait a minute. Did you see his body language? I guess. Well, his facial expression told me all that I needed to know. Okay. Yeah, that's why LeBron James is covering up his mouth whenever he knows he's on camera. And you know what's funny? He has to cover his mouth everywhere because there's not ever a place where LeBron James is not on camera. Wherever he goes, he's on camera. So my man's going to walk around with his mouth covered all the time to communicate. That would suck. So if you guys want to chime in, I'm good for you. 239-1070. Email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. On Twitter at jmv1070. I have a busy show for you today. I have a great deal of admiration for a guest today. And that admiration was inspired by doing a little research on him. Because, frankly, I didn't know a great deal other than he was one of the 3 basketball-playing Holiday brothers. I didn't have a great deal of knowledge about Justin Holiday other than in a couple of games against the Pacers a year ago, he kind of lit him up. It might have been that game where Vic hit that incredible shot into overtime. I think Holiday hit some shots there. There was somebody else. There was 2 Bulls players. One was Justin Holiday, and there was somebody else who I don't even know if he still plays for him, who just, for whatever reason last year, lit up the Pacers. But after doing some research and looking at what he has accomplished just to get and to stay where he is in the NBA, it's not just like, hey, you know what? You're one of the Holiday brothers. You're really good. You're going to get drafted in round 1. Hey, your brother should be an all-star. You're going to get drafted in round 1. Hey, you know what? You're going to UCLA. You're going to get drafted in round 1. Now, he went to Washington. He was the first brother, went to Washington, and had to work his way up in college, much like he's had to work his way through the professional ranks, whether it was playing first in Belgium or where he is now with a 1-year deal with the Indiana Pacers. But Justin Holiday is going to join us at 5:30 today, and frankly, I can't wait. I have a great deal of admiration. One thing, guys that stick to it like this, I admire a great deal basketball-wise, and I think you will too, and here's why. Because to stick with it like that, not get frustrated, not bail, not feel sorry for yourself, it tells you a great deal about somebody's love for the craft. In this case, the love for basketball. I think Justin Holiday's got a lot of love for basketball, and if you did not know his story, we will talk up his story coming up later on today at 5:30. Kevin Bowen's going to join us today at 5 o'clock. We'll talk the latest from camp, all that with Kevin at 5. Dan Orlovsky, if you remember a year ago, Dan was on this show, I think made his debut midsummer. And in the midst of all of my fantastic takes, one was you know what, this team is going to be really, if they finish 8-8, this is going to be a banner season. I remember, and I'm the only one around here that's ever going to call myself out. Everybody else will bury it, but I'm going to call myself out. 8-8. 8-8 would be a banner season. And then everybody would laugh and joke about banners hanging down at Lucas Oil Stadium, you know? 8-8 would be a banner season. And I tried to throw that slider past Dan Orlovsky. And if you remember, he took it deep because he was one of the few that thought this team would be sincerely something special and something worthy of watching a year ago. Not just a team, but from a quarterback standpoint. And he stuck to it, and he was right. And as you've probably noticed on ESPN, he has moved up the ranks of importance when talking about somebody's football opinion. And that all kind of started here a year ago. Really good stuff. Dan Orlovsky is going to join us coming up at around 4 o'clock today. And at some point, Clayton Geathers is on a one-year deal. Safety position, injured at the end of last year, and is going to be inspired for not just playing for a group of guys and their success, but also playing for himself and to get a longer deal. Either to stay here or to go someplace else. I mean, it is one of the more, to me, it's even more interesting than Devin Funchess because you see this happening all the time, right? With guys, and especially that position is much different. But Devin Funchess, he signed a one-year deal here because he thought that, going someplace else would be better for him, and he liked the idea of playing with this offense and with this team. But, Clayton's staying. And Clayton's betting on himself in this defense now, staying as consistently Matt Eberflus, Frank Reich, and Chris Ballard continue to add pieces all around him. Clayton Geathers is going to join us at some point during this show. I've got Alice in Chains corn tickets for you. I've got Knotfest. I've got nothing for Gen Con. Tell you what, Gen Con, and then you add Gen Con right now with the 65K coming in and roads that are closed and everything's off. That is going to be an interesting dynamic. But come on in and spend. And if you see me on the street, if you want to spark up a conversation about what the hell happened and there should have been an alternative ending and Empire Strikes Back, by God, I am ready for it. We'll do it. All right. If there should have been something, you didn't like the Ewoks, I'll talk it up with you, just like I like talking this up or anything else. But welcome in, Gen Conners. Do you know, are there any celebrities in Gen Con? Are all celebrities in Gen Con now these YouTube stars? Because I hear about these YouTube stars. Like when we were talking about my kid playing, what is that jack-around game that I can't stand? Fortnite, where the kid just won $3 million. Like one of the guys that is a huge star in social media and YouTube is named Ninja. Ninja. Do you know who Ninja is? Ninja.
Yeah, I know of him.
Is
I've heard of him.
Ninja going to be here? You think Ninja
I doubt it.
Ninja could come on the show? Ninja's like more popular than most athletes right now. That's what's scary. I don't even know who he is other than just hearing about him for the first time last week. Ninja.
I'm sure Blake knows all about him.
Don't tell me that. Hey, here's something funny today, too. So Blake goes, he's in Greenwood walking around. Apparently, somebody yells at him, "Hey, Cinnamon Duke." I love you guys for that. That's why I told him, I said, you got to keep that name. Like, I used to have, I had a name, but now with Mark Patrick, it was going to be JMV forever. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get Blake's name changed from Blake to Cinnamon Duke. And you guys are doing a hell of a job of helping me out do that. Thank you. He's wanted to change. He goes, "Man, I can't go." I said, "Yeah, you know what? You are Cinnamon Duke." I mean, I became JMV. There was a point in time when I wasn't JMV, but Mark Patrick, with his notoriety and, everybody that liked him, and that you're going to be JMV. You're not going to be anything else. So at some point, I became JMV. Same thing for you, Cinnamon Duke. Dan Orlovsky, Kevin Bowen, Justin Holiday, Clayton Geller. Stuff to give away. Big show for you today. We got a big show for you the rest of the week, too. We'll keep you updated. And anything that I've talked about so far, why don't you go ahead and climb on board at 239-1070 and tell me all about it. Back with you next.
At 1 Hour, we stand behind our work, and I mean for years. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger from 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. If our repair fails in the first 2 years, we'll fix it again for free. Who else can say that? We gladly guarantee our repairs because we know the care that goes into them. Call us at 844-1-HOUR. That's 844-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions apply. License number H0010668.
Are you an overthinker? Hi, Rick Edelman here, host of The Rick Edelman Show right here every weekend. In 3 decades of serving folks like you here at Edelman Financial Engines, we've met a lot of folks who were trapped because they were overthinking their financial decisions. We get it. This can be scary stuff. You work really hard and you make a lot of sacrifices to save all your money. And well, just imagine if you make a mistake. Bad investment choices, the wrong mortgage, incorrect insurance coverage. It's enough to keep anyone awake at night. So here are 2 pieces of advice to help you solve the problem. First, realize that most decisions can be changed. And second, it's not just you, it's we. You don't have to go it alone. Let us help you. You'll get our experience and our expertise. So call us at Edelman Financial Engines. It's one decision you don't have to overthink. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
The kids are heading back to school, so celebrate with Payless Liquors. Dewar's White Label in the 1.75 liters, only $29.99. Absolute in the 175 is $26.99. And Kamchatka Vodka 175s are only $8.99. And if you're into wine, well, Kendall Jackson Vintage Reserve Chardonnay is only $9.99 a bottle. Bud and Bud Light 18 packs are $14.99. And don't forget, go to PaylessLiquors.com and reserve your kegs. 26 locations are open 7 days a week. They're online at PaylessLiquors.com. Don't pay more, get more, and pay less at Payless Liquors.
Hey, it's Dan Doggett here for Family Leisure. You know how much I love my spa from Family Leisure. Guess what? It's back. That's right. America's largest spa dealer is having the world's biggest spa sale. Over 1,200 spas, 5 manufacturers, no games, no gimmick. Higher quality spas, better service, lower prices. $8,000 spas, only $49.99. $5,000 spas, only $24.99. Special financing available. Over 50 models to choose from and spas from $12.99. Nobody beats Family Leisure. Nobody.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Training camp is underway, and the Fan's got you covered for all things Colts. Multiple shows live at Grand Park during Colts camp this week, like the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe, Dan Doggett, and even special Saturday programming. And if you don't hear us over the air, then get to us online, where you can read Kevin Bowen's fantastic Indianapolis Colts insights. It's the latest reports, stories, and interviews, only provided by the Fan.
For more info, click on IndySportsCenter.com.
Men, are ED issues getting in your way? Locally owned Men's Health Solutions is here to help. Physicians at Men's Health Solutions can offer multiple options, many at a lower price than you find at other local clinics. Just a $75 initial appointment fee that includes a test dose of medication and sample meds with no further commitments. You'll know the same day if it works, so what do you have to lose? ED treatment doesn't have to be expensive. Men's Health Solutions, 317-975-3945. menshealthsolutions.us.
We're all trying to get in a little bit better shape these days. Some of us use the weight room, some like to run and hike, while others play the sports we love. But unfortunately, almost all of us will end up with some kind of ailment from trying to stay fit, and that's where Franciscan Health Orthopedics comes in. They'll fix what ails you so you can stay active. Again, it's okay to push yourself, but sometimes we go too far. And when that happens, the orthopedic experts at Franciscan Health are there for you. From sprains and tears to fractures and dislocations, they'll get you back in the game. Franciscan Health Orthopedics, inspiring health.
Call Crown Haven Wealth Advisors for your custom retirement plan at 844-896-7233 and online at crownhaven.com.
Do you need air conditioning service and are looking for a local dealer you can trust, like Marshall Mechanical in Franklin? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Sports with Dan Dockage.
Jack Doyle, the team's 1-5. Looking back on it, what was the biggest thing to turning that around?
I think it was more of
we kept working. We had great leaders that kept the team together and kept practicing, kept playing, and it turned around because we stuck to what we were doing. We didn't let things fall off the cliff or people started having their own agendas or anything like that. I think that's why it did turn around.
Dan Dockett, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Weekdays 3 till 7 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
I want something just like this. Jeremiah says something that's so accurate here. We don't get to pick our own nicknames. They are selected for us, or the nickname selects us. That is so true. I always thought there was nothing more forced, and that's when I thought, you know what, the world has just completely run out of nicknames. I never was a fan of the Black Mamba nickname. I thought, good Lord, that's forced. What is this, Wild Kingdom? The Black Mamba. I mean, because really, 20 years ago or so, 15 years ago, you kind of had to look up, what the hell's a Black Mamba? If you had to look it up and find out what it is, then, wait a minute. Hey, the wildebeest. Well, hell, what's a wildebeest? Let me look that up really quick. Well, I don't like that. Now, one of the greatest all-time nicknames where I'm from is, I'm not going to give the name out here. When there's a dude that was called Marsupial. Oh, that was good. That is a solid one right there. Marsupial. JMV at 1070thefan.com. Cinnamon Duke, I like it. Everyone needs an extra name. My extra name is Swanson Gordette. My girlfriend's name is Annalisa Laquista. My porn name back in the day, and I had a good one because it always takes the name of your dog and the streets in which you live. And I had the greatest porn name of all time, Buddy Berrywood. Beat that. I have no idea why some porn dude out there is not saying, oh yeah, Buddy Berrywood. That's a hell of a plan. Should have taken that long ago. Buddy Berrywood. Man, Cardi B. So everybody, Kevin Lee was stuck in traffic for too long of a time last night, and Cardi B did not even take the stage. Wow. Yeah, I saw that last night, too. Hey, JMV, I'm refreshed to hear your take on luck. I've been getting frustrated with the local media blowing all this way out of proportion. Now, I will stop you right here. I'm just telling you, Steve, that's what I was told. All right? And I hope that is accurate because there's a little bit of me that wants to kind of put my hands up and go, damn, again? And then make something out of it. And it's tough not to because you look at all what is going on, and that's what clearly matters. Like, I would suggest this, if it really is, all the storylines right now, Steve, and this is honesty the case, all the storylines right now at camp probably all begin with calf muscle. Because that is clearly what matters the most. Because nobody's giving a crap right now about some running back competition between Spencer Ware and Jordan Wilkins, or nobody cares about who's going to be a fifth wide receiver. None of that matters right now. Because that's why everybody covers it. So I don't need to come to the defense of people in this market for talking about it or writing about it so much, because it is legitimately a big deal. I'm conveying to you what I was told, and I trust the people that tell me that. And frankly, I'm relieved because I don't want to sit here and try to read body language and facial expressions, or get into the text of what the quarterback said yesterday and what's right and what's wrong about it. Because frankly, he didn't want to say anything. And old school days, he wouldn't have been rolled out there yesterday. Old school days, they would have just said, hey, you know what? We're going to say nothing about it, and you could draw your own conclusions. And as I mentioned yesterday, 2 years ago, that did significant damage to them. That is, showing a level of transparency, even though you're not very transparent about it. That's exactly what they're trying to do here, and that's the right thing to do. Like, it's funny. I talk to Luck every year, and I enjoy it. But what I enjoy the most, I want to have a conversation where we just talk hypotheticals, because he never wants to talk hypotheticals. So I'm thinking I just need to have an interview where I just ask him nothing but hypotheticals. He doesn't want to talk hypotheticals. And he is sitting there and he is reaching for something to say, because literally he didn't want to say anything. But you got to go up there compared to how you were 2 years ago. No. JMV, you're still missing the point on Luck. Bigger picture than how his word choice, body language relates to the injury. It's the lack of killer instinct. See, that is just such a jackstick thing to say. This dude scored a touchdown in the NFL with a lacerated kidney. So take your lack of killer instinct and take it someplace else, because that's dumb as hell. I mean, there's a Mount Rush. That's on the Mount Rushmore, Ben, and I think I like you. I believe I like you. That is on the Mount Rushmore of dumb as hell things to say. I think he's the only person ever to score a touchdown in the NFL in the history of the league with a lacerated kidney. So I don't want to hear about anybody's killer instinct. Good creep. Ben. Hey, Ben, I tell you what, here's what I need here. This is honestly what I need. I need to get a visual. I need to get a visual of, I want to see your killer instinct here. That's awesome. God, don't give me that stupid killer instinct. The dude's all that they had for years, and they rode him until he broke. That is just dumb as hell. That is dumb. At the very least here, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here, Ben. I'll give you the benefit. At least come up with something other than lack of killer instinct. God. And you know what? If you want to buy into it, buy into it. As I said yesterday, you can think about this whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want. I have just chosen my own path. Hey, you know what? If it turns out to be wrong, if this is something significant, if something does happen, then we'll have to address it, and then we can all be pissed off together. But I refuse to go there right now just because 39 days away, I don't think it's necessary. Part of me wants to go there, though. I mean, it'd make for easy radio. I could just sit around here and complain all day about, Andrew Luck's calf muscle. But I just refuse to do it right now. Now, there's nothing being covered up here, at least from my standpoint. I'm not trying to cover anything up. I'm just telling you my specific opinion on it. And it's, up to you whether or not you buy it. But killer instinct? Ben thinks Andrew Luck has no killer instinct. Wait a minute. Ben, you got to see it. I know this is probably unfair. Send me a picture, Ben. I want to see your killer instinct. Your killer instinct face. That's great. JMV, Black Mamba for Kobe may be the most appropriate nickname ever. See, I completely disagree. I remember the first time I saw it, I had to look it up. A nickname, you don't have to look up a nickname. Maybe it's because I was completely uneducated, right? But I had to look it up. If you're coming out with a really new genius nickname, which basically there are none of those anymore, I shouldn't have to try to, I don't need to grab an encyclopedia and look it up. I mean, it may be appropriate, killer snake, but if you got to look it up, I mean, hell, I didn't know a black mamba from a garter snake. I know Ben's going to be talking to his family like Full Metal Jacket, Sergeant Hartman. That's good. Hey, Ben, I don't mean to climb all over you here, but come on, man. It's got to be better than that. Got to get better than that. And see, here's the rest of it. Jackstick, and don't call me names that I just used. All right, if you're going to call me names, at least be original about it. Don't call me something that I just used 5 minutes ago. Read the rest of the message. Ever hear Manning, Brady, Roethlisberger, etc. talk like that? But hey, Luck played well in Kansas City last year. Go talk about Yacht Rocks. No, these are all different dudes, man. I love Peyton Manning. I think everybody knows that. I have a great deal of respect for Tom Brady. I could give or take Ben Roethlisberger. But I think Ben Stelz, I think you out there trying to judge the killer instinct or competitive nature of Andrew Luck is about as stupid gets. That's just me. We'll let the listening audience chime in on it. Let's see what they think. Wait a minute. Can you be as tough? And here's the other thing, too, man. This era has so given a license to folks that aren't tough to act tough. I mean, just don't be phony, Ben. If you're really a badass, Ben, let me know. But if you're just making this crap up and being phony like your average keyboard warrior, then let's talk another day about it. Because I'm guessing I'm right about this. Quick one. Calls on the other side. Why I like last night. Just beyond being a fan of the Reds. Why last night it was coming. It was necessary. It happened. Get to that. Kevin Bowen, Clayton Geathers, Justin Holiday, Dan Orlovsky, all on the show today. Back with you next.
Win a round of golf with Jeff Rickard and Kevin Bowen, the links at Heartland Crossing next Wednesday, courtesy of Franciscan Health Orthopedics. For more info, 1075thefan.com.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Hey, John here for the 4 Winds, Lakeside Inn and Marina. Tony gave a great deal. That's Tony down at the 4 Winds, said, hey, JMV, talk this up because we're trying to give people the opportunity for one final vacation. And it's really easy for you, too, because it's a vacation staycation down at Lake Monroe at the 4 Winds. Before everybody goes back to school, here's what Tony has offered up. The month of August, a midweek staycation, 3 nights, Sunday through Thursday, $199 for a garden double room, or you can upgrade to a lakeside for just $99 more. I love it down there. I do. The Windjammer Bar and Grill, spectacular. The pool, great. Boating, hiking, if you're into that. Boat rentals down there for you. Just a blast, and you can get in that last vacation before everything gets back on the reg or back to normal around here. So thank you, Tony, and the 4 Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. Call them right now before they get all booked up. 812-824-BOAT. That's 812-824-2628. Online, 4windslakeside.com right now.
Calling all Bobs. IndianaUnclaimed.gov and the Office of the Indiana Attorney General may have money for you. In fact, we owe people named Bob more than $3.4 million. In all, we have nearly $500 million ready to return to deserving Hoosiers like Bob. And you, do we have money for you or the Bob in your life? Find out at IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's worth a look. See and search for yourself. IndianaUnclaimed.gov.
For the extraordinary Hoosiers who grow our food, feed our minds, make us safe, and keep us free. An extraordinary celebration. Your Indiana State Fair salutes heroes in the heartland with a party of heroic proportions featuring fantasy superheroes and Hoosier homegrown real ones. Heroes in the Heartland, presented by Indiana Donor Network. Your Indiana State Fair, August 2nd through 18th.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Training camp is underway, and the Fan's got you covered for all things Colts. Multiple shows live at Grand Park during Colts camp this week, like the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe, Dan Dockich, and even special Saturday programming. And if you don't hear us over the air, then get to us online, where you can read Kevin Bowen's fantastic Indianapolis Colts insights. It's the latest reports, stories, and interviews, all provided by the Fan.
For more info, click on IndySportsCenter.com.
Guys, erectile dysfunction got you down? The Indianapolis Men's Clinic's all-male staff specializes in treating ED and other sexual health-related issues. Call today for a consultation. 999-9000.
Red Sox, Yankees, Sunday Night Baseball. The coverage begins at 6 on FM 107.5, The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Well, we're waiting.
Weekdays 3 till 7 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Serious conversation going on right now, and Garrett is hot. And now there's some serious chirping coming from the Pirates dugout. And now Garrett's on his way to the dugout, and here we go. Oh! Garrett goes in there punching. This is not a good scene at all. Woo! You can feel it brewing and brewing and brewing. And I'm not sure the umpires are going to be able to break up this one.
Well, they're going to have to look back on this. There's David Bell, who came back out of the clubhouse. Going after Clint Hurdle, evidently.
Bell having words with Hurdle. Garrett went flying towards the Pirates dugout and went throwing punches. A certain suspension for him. David Bell, who had already been ejected from this game, out of the dugout, trying to get to Clint Hurdle. And they got to separate these two teams somehow, because this is not going to stop.
Oh, that was last night on Fox Sports Ohio, if you missed it. Reds, by the way, went 4-1 today over the Pirates. Apparently no shenanigans this afternoon. Now, the Reds traded Tanner Roark today. Where did Tanner Roark go? I haven't seen yet. They're a right-handed pitcher. Traded today. They unloaded Puig and one of their top, what the hell's the dude's name? Trammell? One of their top prospects, but he wasn't really performing very well in Double-A. I hate it that they traded Puig. And, they got Trevor Bauer from the Indians last night. Puig did a lot of what he was doing out there last night against the Pirates. A member after that trade of the Cleveland Indians, which is pretty spectacular, I think. So where did Roark go?
He got traded to the A's.
Oh, great. So Tanner Roark is gone. I don't know about anybody else from the Reds or anybody else. The Cubs make a move? You got anything over there in front of you right now?
They haven't
look like the Cubs make any moves. Cardinals make any moves. I think the Cardinals actually they made a deal with the Dodgers, didn't they? I believe. Doesn't look like Syndergaard is going anywhere. So that is the latest as we approach, I believe, 4 o'clock is the Major League Baseball trade deadline. And we'll have anything for it if anything does happen to pop up there. But I thought last night was glorious. I did. Glorious, I say. Glorious. Hey, JMV, seems like old times here. I called twice and it rang 351 times and no answer. I'm sorry. The Golden Tee Chad will bring it if you don't answer the phone. That's the way that it goes. That's classic. JMV, Weren't you on the Orlovsky train early? I believe you had him on before he started at ESPN. In fact, we did. And Orlovsky was on the Andrew Luck and the Colts turnaround a year ago before anybody. That's why we'll give you some strong coverage around here. There's no question. Jeff Hansen with this, JMV. I call my wife Brittany Britannica after my favorite encyclopedia. I used to plagiarize out of the back in middle school, Encyclopedia Britannica. I also had it on CD. Ironically, she's a teacher. Hey, by the way, I know a lot of you are getting ready to go back to school. Cinnamon Duke has to hit the trail back to school at St. Francis and Clare coming up tomorrow. I love you folks down there at St. Francis and Clare in Johnson County off of Mullenix. Hello to you. So Cinnamon Duke hits the trail tomorrow, and I think Lainey Lou starts her new gig over at Walnut Grove in Center Grove. Brand new school that clearly my 9-year-old daughter will trash when it's said and done. And she starts next week, I think. And I think the leadership clowns at Perry Township been going since what? About June? I actually got something last night. I wasn't mad at him, though. One of the assistant coaches on Mark James' staff was kind of going back and forth with me, joking about the Reds and that. But I like that dude, though. Yeah, I like Mark. I think Coach James is as good as you're going to find around here for sure. Don't like who hired him, but I like him a great deal. Hey, John wants to discuss some Puig, and I think that's a swell time to do it. Go ahead, John. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, man. Hey, I was watching that little WWE Royal Rumble last night on the Reds and Pirates game, and I saw that when Rossiel Puig tried to go after some of the Pirates players second time, Tucker Barnhart tried to grab him, and that Puig just threw him down like nothing. I mean, he showed him that the human body can bounce off concrete. You know, Tucker Barnhart's no small guy, man. He's a big boy. I'm like, holy balls. He just threw him down like it was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, really, you can tell. I mean, nobody, the Pirates didn't want any part of him, and really his teammates didn't want any part of him either, so.
Oh, he's nuts. He was nuts out in L.A., man.
I love, you know what, I like him, though. I mean, he is, to me, he may lick his bat and be what you just described, but the guy plays exactly how all these crusty old baseball dudes suggest that baseball be played, you know? I mean, he's balls out the entire time, and that's somebody that I like to watch. And I didn't really know that until, John, I watched him for the last 3 months, and I've come to have a great deal of appreciation for it, and I'm sad that it's gone for my favorite team.
Yeah, he just seems to wear out his welcome wherever he goes, you know?
Yeah, but there are only like 5 or 6 guys in the history of anything that don't do that, you know? I think we all have a shelf life at some point.
They got rid of one character and just got rid of it, and this got another character in that Bauer, so, you know.
John, you call anytime. Thank you very much. John didn't seem like he was on the bandwagon there with my Puig stuff. Come on. Yeah, see, don't email me and call me names. You're not allowed. You can call me names, but I don't care. You don't call me names that I used literally 5 minutes prior. That's all I'm saying. All right? You have to show a little bit of originality. Just anything else. I had used Jackstick. It was mine. I had all but had a copyright for it 5 minutes prior, so you don't start out your email calling me a jackstick when I just had said it. We got to be able to come to that conclusion. Yeah, Puig does have a cannon arm. And listen, I don't know, because I haven't discussed this with Tucker at all. I don't know how the teammates liked him. I'm just telling you how much I did enjoy watching him play. I did. And I never felt that way because other than the postseason, I didn't watch him play very much for the Dodgers, and he was up and down. I mean, hell, he got sent to Albuquerque at some point, right? So I developed a great deal of appreciation for him. No, you can't call me Tommy Allen. You can't call me Fart Knocker either, because that's what my 9-year-old daughter calls me. And I love it. My wife hates it. My wife, as an educator, suggests that it's absolutely wrong. You should not have her. You should not allow her to say that. And I think it's hilarious. It's straight out of Beavis and Butthead, and I embrace it. So thank you, Tommy Allen. All right. JMV, did you notice the organ playing music in the background? And then they started playing You've Lost That Love and Feeling and Can You Feel the Love Tonight, I think. So they were on it at Great American last night for sure. Reds win today. Trade deadline is coming up. There have been some moves, but really nothing that major. We'll discuss Bowen, Clayton Geathers, Justin Holiday, and Dan Orlovsky, somebody you love NFL breakdown-wise, a great deal. Your calls, and Dan Orlovsky joins us next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save up to $120 with the purchase of select tires using your Big O credit card. See store for details. Now open in Whitestown.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Training camp is underway, and the Fan's got you covered for all things Colts. Multiple shows live at Grand Park during Colts camp this week, like the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe, Dan Dockage, and even special Saturday programming. And if you don't hear us over the air, then get to us online, where you can read Kevin Bowen's fantastic Indianapolis Colts insights. It's the latest reports, stories, and interviews, only provided by the Fan.
For more info, click on IndySportsCenter.com.
Hoosier fans, Indiana football tickets are on sale now for the 2019 season. IU football hosts 6 home games this fall, including matchups against Big Ten East rivals, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. Fans can purchase single-game tickets as low as $20 and $200 for season tickets. For complete ticket information, visit IUHoosiers.com today. Go IU!
Back. And Cage the Elephant. Live in concert this Sunday at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center with very special guest Spoon and Wild Bell. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Back and Cage the Elephant. All the hits for one night only. Check more at back.com and cagetheelephant.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
I am all about you getting in the new ride of your choice at Indiana's Best. It's Andy Moore, Toyota, and Avon. His name is Ben Mendoza. And there's Robert. And there's Scott. These folks are trying to help you get in the new ride that you want with the best deals across the board. And I'm telling you, I've mentioned this a couple of different times. You can lease a brand new 2019 RAV4 LE for just $159 a month. Have you checked this out? How hot this SUV is right now? Everybody's wanting one, and you can get one at a great price, a great deal with folks that you absolutely can trust that have you in mind. It's one-stop shopping. First things first, online, AndyMooreToyota.com, or tell them that I sent you and get that great deal on the car, truck, or van of your choice right now. 5 miles west to 465 on US 36.
Sports with Dan Dockage.
Jack Doyle, the team's 1-5. Looking back on it, what was the biggest thing to turning that around?
I think it was more of we kept working. We had great leaders that kept the team together and kept practicing, kept playing, and it turned around because we stuck to what we were doing. We didn't let things fall off the cliff or people started having their own agendas or anything like that. I think that's why it did turn around.
Dan Dockage, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Colts open preseason play in Buffalo. Coverage next Thursday at 4 on FM 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Can I use your bathroom?
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Kevin Bowen later on. Justin Holiday is a new pacer, and I'm going to give you some reasons why you should really appreciate him and the career that he has had. Just beyond the fact that he's the older brother of Aaron Holiday. They're going to have 2 Holidays and 3 TJs. TJs and Holidays they have. Justin joins us coming up here at 5:30. Clayton Geathers of the Colts a little bit later on. Tucker Barnhart's tomorrow, too. I think the Reds down in Atlanta. Tucker's going to join us on tomorrow's show. We'll talk about base brawl and trade deadline and their win earlier today over the Pirates. But on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, he called it a year ago. You got to give him full credit. And since we had him on this show, the guy has taken off at the worldwide leader. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, former NFL quarterback, former Colts quarterback, ESPN NFL analyst, Dan Orlovsky joins us. I've given you a ton of credit because about this time, or maybe even before this time last year, you were on board with the return of Luck and this team being a hell of a lot better than what people thought, including myself. And, man, you pegged it a year ago. You really did.
Yeah, well, certainly take the wins when you can get them because, in our world, you say some things and people will often remind you as much as they can if and when you're wrong. So I will take a win for sure. Appreciate it.
All right. So coming off of last year, 10 wins, surprises a lot of people, maybe not you, but really everybody else. You lose in the divisional round in Kansas City, but make moves to bolster the roster. Nothing really major, but really nice moves from Chris Ballard. We'll get into the Luck stuff in a minute, but where do you think this team sits as far as the AFC is concerned going into 2019 here?
Yeah, absolutely. On the short list for teams that you expect to contend to be in the AFC Championship game. If there's a grouping, the unique thing about the NFL this year is there's one division that you can point to that doesn't have two legitimate division winners, at least teams that you would contend to be division winners, and then teams that you expect to be really good in the playoffs, and that's the AFC East. Every other division is really, really good. The Colts obviously hit their stride last year, and I would argue had one of the better drafts this past season. Rock Ya-Sin is such a good draft pick, and a lot of people don't know enough about him, but he was probably the second best corner in college football last year. So they are a loaded team that is at its best at the most important parts of football team, which is your offensive line and or your defensive line. And obviously the quarterback. So added some good pieces, but they're on the short list to be expected to be in the AFC title game.
All right, before we get to some of the other pieces, too, because I do want to get your thoughts on how you expect them as a rookie to use Paris Campbell, because that's something we've been discussing for the last week or so. What are your thoughts on Andrew Luck and not practicing, not being ready as of right now with that calf strain that has dogged him basically for the past 3 months?
Yeah, I mean, I have zero concern on it. I don't even have 5% concern. It's a 0 for me. I mean, if anything that we've seen is Andrew is very aware of his own body. The Colts staff is very aware of letting him control that and listening to him. We've done such a good job as a sports culture of understanding injuries nowadays, and we saw the benefit of them being incredibly patient last year with the shoulder, and we saw the unfortunate turn, and I know Frank has referenced Kevin Durant, but we saw the unfortunate turn. And if Andrew Luck was out at practice yesterday or today and was 7 of 9 and 7 on 7 and 6 of 8 in team drills, no one would care. And so there is a long time till he has to play a football game. And the worst thing that they can do, just like the shoulder last year, is to go rush out there and all of a sudden because calves are unique. Like calves, you stretch it or you push it, and it could be a 4-week thing. So I understand their caution, and I don't expect to see him on the field for another week or so. That's just my guess because there's no need for it.
He is Dan Orlovsky of ESPN. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So let's just say everything plays out as both you and I agree will as far as Luck and his health is concerned. What type of season are you expecting a year from, obviously, 2 years ago, missed the entire year, bounced back last year? What about this year for number 12 in a Colts uniform?
Yeah, huge. The unique thing is I would imagine everybody expects Andrew to have a huge regular season. It's interesting, though, because I would argue that his season really starts in January. Because, again, I expect this team to be very good. I expect Andrew to be very good. They're to score a ton of points. But the question looms and hangs over the head of, okay, we get to the playoffs. Now what do you do? And it's a unique situation correlation-wise because I would argue that Tua Tagovailoa, who's the quarterback at the University of Alabama, is in a very similar situation. No one cares what you're going to do in the regular season. We expect you to play really good. But when you get to the postseason, now it's time for you to play at that really special level, which we've seen him have the ability to do. So he'll have another big year. There's so many good pieces around him. Frank's got another year. That offensive line's got another year. But I want to see Andrew really light it up in the postseason.
So Dan Orlovsky with us. I mentioned this a moment ago, too, because you talked about Rock Yassin. Paris Campbell was also selected in the spring draft. And, we talk about, him starting in the slot, but maybe moving him around, working him around. How do you think as a rookie, how big of a threat do you expect him to be with this Colts offense?
Big time. Because Paris Campbell is here's the thing that sometimes we group football players, and we do it a lot with receivers into certain areas. Paris Campbell can run routes. He's got the athleticism and the suddenness and the speed, and he understands how to use his body to lean on defenders, but he can run routes. You can place those guys anywhere over the field. Like I would say, Paris Campbell to me is a better route running Ted Ginn. And I'm talking Ted Ginn that came into his own and became a good receiver in the NFL. Doesn't have the drops. Like I said, long, lean, incredibly explosive, vertical speed, but can run routes, and that is a big deal. And so I look at him as the guy that is going to be opposite the ghost and, have a really big impact on this football team. I also think that they've got some other players like Kane, who I was high on last year, is back and healthy. So Paris Campbell is a guy that, there's a lot of good young receivers that were drafted this year. He's obviously in an incredibly beneficial situation because the head coach and the quarterback, he could have easily 50, 60 catches this year, average 15 yards a catch, something like that.
Devin Funchess in Carolina had a good year 2 years ago and then a down year this past year. He signed a one-year deal, kind of betting on himself in an offense where he expects to get a great deal of an opportunity. With a depth at tight end and what the Colts have in a rookie and what they have in T.Y. Hilton, where does Funchess fit in your opinion, for this team?
He fits right in the conversation with the people that are going to be at the top of the game plan. Andrew is notorious for being able to – he's like Drew Brees. He likes the big-body guys because he can place the ball wherever he wants to. Funchess is a big-body guy. And don't forget, that offense last year in Carolina was really hindered by the Cam Newton shoulder injury. And so everybody in that offense played worse other than Christian McCaffrey because they could not throw the ball past 10 yards for 9 games. So Funchess is a guy that is the big-body receiver that you're going to – Frank can use him in so many different ways. He doesn't have to use him like a tight end. He also doesn't have to use him like a receiver. He can use him strategically because they've got the Ebron of the Doyles. He can use him strategically to get the matchups off of size. Funchess will have a big impact. I don't see him having like the catch numbers that Paris Campbell that I expect to have, but Funchess can be a matchup problem that could be very specific for this team.
Dan Orlovsky of ESPN, the former NFL quarterback, kind enough to join us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You pegged Eric Ebron and his resurrection a year ago, too, with the touchdowns. I think we all can come to the conclusion, Dan, that he needs to improve just, your normal kind of catches. But where do you see him going from the type of season he had for the first time in a Colts uniform last year?
It's kind of an easy thing for me to say, but he's more important this year than he was last year because the hardest thing for an NFL player to do is handle success. And this was the first year Eric ever had success. That was expected of him. And so is he ready to handle that success? Because when he came to Indy last year, he had just a ton of doubt. And obviously everyone could use that for motivation and focus and whatnot, but everyone's now started to praise Eric. And if Eric can replicate what he did last year, even replicate it, that will have such profound impact on this offense because, like I said, his ability to handle now maybe a little bit more attention, handle some praise will be really big. I don't expect Eric to be somebody he's not. Eric's a big player. Did a really nice job down the seams and pushing the ball vertical for this offense, but also making something out of the short stuff. I'd expect more of that. But I want to see him do it for a second year in a row because that's really hard to do in the NFL.
Well, you bring up something good, too, because since you know him and you've worked with him in the past, I did want to ask you this. He had a great deal of success last year, and he's been kind of social media outspoken on the non-believers in him this year and what he expects from himself to do even better in the touchdown category than he did a year ago. How do you think he responds if things are going great, yet his numbers are not where they were a year ago? How does he respond, in your opinion?
Well, hopefully Eric's more mature than he was, 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I had my first interaction. He wasn't immature, but hopefully he's matured and understanding that they'll come in bunches. Like they came in bunches for many people on that offense last year. And when you have all the people that they have on offense, it's understanding that they come in bunches because at some point Eric's going to go on a run for a couple games, and then T.Y. is going to go on a run for a couple games, and what these defensive coordinators have to make decisions of who we're going to try and pay attention to. And so to not stay frustrated, obviously, to keep the team in the forefront, and as long as he's doing his job, and I know that's easy to say and hard to do, but the big thing is to understand you're going to go on runs. When you have an offense that there's a bunch of other talented players and a coach that understands how to use those players, you'll go on runs just because it's a math game. And at some point, we have 5 and you only have 4, and one of those guys is going to constantly be the focal point for your defense.
And again, you bring up another great point about him is he still has that chip on his shoulder, and I'm glad because he hasn't lost that yet. You just don't know if things are great here and the team is winning yet, Mo Alley Cox or Jack Doyle being back, or maybe kind of taking some things away, what that response might be, because he's mentioned, Dan, that he wants to be on the field more, therefore he needs to improve in his blocking, so he expects it. I'm just kind of curious what might happen if it's not altogether what it was a year ago production-wise for him.
Surely. Yeah. I would say this, that the great thing is, a lot of people get caught up in the buzzword culture nowadays, and obviously Frank has done a great job of establishing something that is really good there right now. But it's the players that really carry out the culture, and this is a team that has a culture and a leader in Luck, and has a veteran guy like a Houston now that's in there, has the T.Y., has the Doyle, has people that are very much so understanding of how important the team is, and so I don't have necessarily high level of concern or any concern at all about that with Eric because they've got such a good top to bottom general manager, head coach, and leadership on that team that's really hard to just have one guy standing out there being so consumed by that when you're playing good. And I expect Eric to play well, but when you're playing good as a team, if your culture's healthy, you don't really have to deal with that much.
It's Dan Orlowski of ESPN with us. How do you think Nick Foles is going to fit in? Is he going to be the type of quarterback savior in Jacksonville that a lot of their fans expect after the most disappointing season in the NFL from the Jaguars clearly a year ago?
No, and I love Nick Foles. Obviously, is the last 2 years have been special. But if you went to a bunch of random NFL fans, maybe like diehard fans, but random, and asked them, "Hey, give me 3 skilled players in the Jacksonville Jaguars," they'd be like, Leonard Fournette, okay, he's unreliable, and then maybe D.D. Westbrook, like they don't have anybody to go throw the ball to. They are the opposite of the Indianapolis Colts or the Kansas City Chiefs or the Los Angeles Rams. Marquise Lee's coming off the massive knee injury. They don't have a tight end, so they've got question marks at the offensive line. So, Nick Foles was a guy that really was smart with the way he utilized the people around him, and he does not have that. I know the defense is great, and I expect them to play well, but they're vastly missing people in a game, in a time where offensive football is really important. He is missing people on the offensive end.
Marcus Mariota in Tennessee. What do you think the type of season he's in store for? And then coinciding with that, how's this Titans team going to look?
Yeah, Andy, listen, I always like to pride myself in trying to be the most prepared and smart person in the room. If I told you that Marcus Mariota was going to have a good year, I'd be lying. And if I told you he's going to have a bad one, I'd be lying. This is one of the rare situations where my answer is I don't know, because we just don't know with Marcus. Like, he's Alex Smith from 10 years ago where, going into a 5th year with 4 offensive coordinators and multiple head coaches, and he's had a different offense every year, and his offensive coordinator is an ex-offensive lineman, and so we have no idea about Arthur Smith. We don't know about Marcus. Certainly hope that he can stay healthy. Now, the addition of A.J. Brown and Humphreys is huge. A.J. Brown is awesome. That they are a sneaky, potentially good team if Marcus stays healthy, and Arthur Brown's a great play caller, and obviously they're going to pound the rock. Saffold addition is massive. Their defensive line will be nasty. But we have no idea what Marcus Mariota is or is not, and anyone who says they are or anyone who says they do is lying.
How's the turmoil in the front office, if at all, affect the team in Houston we're going to see this year?
Yeah, it's wild, right? I mean, Houston was in such a prime position this year to strike with the free agency money that they had, and they didn't really do it. And now, they've got the same situation. There's no general manager. They made one addition to their offensive line. They've got a head coach that doesn't really understand how to keep his quarterback upright. So, there's if you're looking at a situation going, man, such a young, talented, superstar potential quarterback, but there's a lot of questionable things going on in Houston. And so that concerns me about Deshaun Watson. They'll play well. He'll play special. If Will Fuller is still healthy, that's a big deal. Cootie's obviously a big part of their offense moving forward inside, but I just don't know. I mean, if the offensive line is going to be any better, because they were terrible last year, and that just concerns me if Watson's going to be able to play 16 games remotely healthy.
I'm going to look at a couple more teams with Dan Orlovsky around the AFC here. Kansas City. I mean, now we know as of sitting here and conversing right now, Tyreek Hill and his situation. They ousted Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator. They bring in Steve Spagnuolo. They got rid of some defensive key guys last year. They bring in some new guys, new system, offense basically the same. Are they going to be to the level expectation-wise that we saw last year?
Yeah, they'll play really similarly. I mean, McCole Hardman, they drafted in the second round of Georgia, is going to be a really, really good addition. That offense will be as explosive and special and crazy and fun to watch and difficult to stop as they were last year. But I do have concerns about the defense. The corners are worse than they were. They're worse today than they were last year. Now, the addition of Honey Badger and the draft of Juan Thornhill out of Virginia is huge. But the pass rush that they had last year is worse today than it was last year. The defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, his last 4 years as a defensive coordinator, his teams have been 24th, 30th, 32nd, and a second. So he had one good year with the Giants when it comes to total defensive rankings. So it's not like I'm sitting here going, man, they got a guy who knows defense. His past four times hasn't been good. So I look at the defense that was really bad last year and can make the argument that they're at best laterally. It was a lateral move, and you can make the case that they're worse. So it's going to, the pressure will fall on Patrick Mahomes again.
All right, and finally the Patriots. We just all expect them to be there. I mean, you mentioned earlier that the East is going to be pretty ridiculously bad. Other than them and no Gronkowski moving forward, we'd expect them to get back to the Super Bowl or at least challenge for it per usual under Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'm not going to make the comment that they won't. I will say this, I expect, and I've said this over the past couple of weeks. Sorry, I'm in the airport, Andy. I expect New England to be better this year than they were last year. Because if we're being honest, New England last year in the regular season was not a great football team. They were struggling to win in man-to-man coverage. Their defense was bottom 10 in the NFL. They weren't getting to the quarterback, and then they obviously transitioned, played different football, and played a lot better on defense, especially playing man coverage. But Chase Winovich will be a great addition to them. Their offense is going to pound the football. Isaiah Wynn comes back for them, who was a first-rounder who did not play as an offensive lineman. I don't have any concerns about, the wide receiver question marks, and N'Keal Harry would be really good. They could have arguably a top 3 secondary in the NFL, which is going to be a huge thing for that team. New England, I expect to be better in the regular season this year than they were last year.
Dan Orlovsky, you can catch him on Get Up, a variety of ESPN shows. And again, we like to commonly take credit for some great takes here a year ago with here on the ride with JMV, obviously, from Dan Orlovsky of ESPN. Former quarterback here. You're doing a great job, man. Spectacular stuff. Man. We love the breakdown, and whenever you get time, we'd love to have you back, and we'll see what happens here in Indy this season. Thanks a lot, Dan. I appreciate it.
Count on it, bud. Thanks, bud.
Dan Orlovsky on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Always good. Did you notice that too? What did you just notice that I just did?
I just noticed he was boarding his plane. He said he was in an airport. He was boarding his plane. He had his little boarding pass, I'm sure, on his phone, and that's what that click was.
Did you notice anything else?
No.
Did you notice anything out of that interview at all? This is not a test. I mean, it kind of is a test, but I'll just kind of explain to you what I just did. Does anybody out there get what I kind of did there at the end. Here's why. And I think Brett kind of got this. I couldn't tell. I swear to you, and I don't know why. I swear to you at least once, and I don't have great hearing. I think everybody knows that. I swear to you once, I thought he said he was at the airport in Indy, but I also thought he called me Andy. And that's not the first time somebody has done that. So did you catch that? And then me on the tail end, I said, we really loved having you on last year. You kind of inspired everybody being excited about this team. And, you're on the ride with JMV. So I mentioned my name where wouldn't ordinarily do it. So that at the tail end, he wouldn't say bye, Andy, in case that's what he said. Did you not get that?
I thought I caught an Andy. I didn't know if if he just misspoke or what it was. Now I can put two and two together.
See, Russ got this, and I got to give you guys credit if you got it too, because I don't normally do that. I just have a way of how I intro and then remind you who I'm talking to while also giving love to the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. And and that's what happens here. When I say the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, they think that they're on with Andy. When in fact, Andy Moore is not the host of this show. And that is kind of something that just happens. But at the tail end of that interview, I tried to squeeze in the name of the show just in case he thought he was talking to Andy Moore. And let me tell you this, Andy Moore probably would be stratospherically more entertaining than me. But he thought that he was talking to Andy Moore, and it was me kind of sneaking in the show name at the very end. So as he closed it out, he called me Bud instead of saying Andy. So now you get it.
Now I'm putting it together. I was wondering where you got the Andy from.
Those are tricks. And this
sense.
is not the first time this has happened, too. And I don't blame anybody because I say that so much because using this, one of the most valued pieces of advertising, this is kind of inside radio stuff, I apologize, but one of the highest valued pieces is that hotline. They love this hotline because every interview gets mentioned, 6-7 times every time. And that's sometimes people get confused and think that's the name of the show. If you guys caught that, that is well done. That is well done right there. And I like it because you guys, I had to sneak in at the tail end too, the name of the show. According to The Athletic, Reds have traded Scooter Gennett to the Giants. Tanner Roark is gone.
Zach Greinke got traded to the Astros.
I saw that. And the Astros got a hell of a haul out of that, too. Did you see that? Yeah, that's what they need, Zach Greinke. See, C.W. Moran said, I was pleading with you in my head to throw in a JMV before you did. See, we're all on the same page with this. I love it because you guys recognize that. I feel that we're really close because you guys recognize things like that a lot of people wouldn't. But see, I don't want to embarrass anybody by saying, well, hold on a minute, this show's name is really this. So you just kind of sneak it in there where it's a part of the conversation, and that's how it works. I love that. I do. But that is sometimes the confusion you get with the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. And let me tell the great folks at Andy Moore Toyota or the Andy Moore Automotive Group, that's why this works so well, and that's why they want this all the time. Because that sticks, that's ingrained in your dome right there. Beautiful stuff. Kevin Bowen still to come. Clayton Geathers, strong safety of the Colts whenever he calls in. And a conversation with somebody that I did a little bit of research on, and I really am impressed by the stick-to-itiveness. I'm going to make up a word. And the overall love of basketball that one of the Holiday brothers, The first one, in fact, Justin Holiday, who just signed with the Pacers. He's going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour. His story to get to this spot and remain in the NBA is a pretty damn good one, and I think one that basketball lovers around here will truly appreciate. He's going to join us coming up at about 5:30 today. Back with you next.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's Big Joe. Right now, for every window you buy, you get the next one free. No limits and 0% financing for 36 months. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
As a small business owner, when was the last time you considered switching internet providers?
I don't even remember. Running a business keeps me pretty busy.
Let's compare your current provider to Comcast Business. Are you getting fast, reliable internet?
Sometimes.
How about a full suite of innovative services like separate Wi-Fi networks, 4G wireless backup, and advanced voice solutions?
I highly doubt it.
Sounds like Comcast Business could give you more. Make the switch to the nation's largest gig speed network now and get an amazing deal. Right now, get fast 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and autopay. Offer ends 8/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra, subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
An effective defense often hinges on sophisticated strategies relating to income tax projections, business valuations, spousal support claims. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Hey, John here for the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. The Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina down in beautiful Lake Monroe. And Tony down there is giving you a great opportunity to enjoy a staycation, getting near the time the kids go back, so you're back to the norm. So get that final vacation and make it a staycation. Here's how it goes. 3 nights, Sunday through Thursday, just $199. $199 for 3 nights in a garden double room, or you can upgrade to the lakeside for just $99 more. Indoor, outdoor pool, boat rental, hiking trails, mini golf, all of the fun down there. Get that last staycation for a great price, but book it now because you do not want them to sell out before you book. So be a part of it. 812-824-BOAT. Tell Tony that I sent you. 812-824-2628. That's staycation at beautiful Lake Monroe at the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. Online, fourwindslakeside.com.
Men, are ED issues getting in your way? Locally owned Men's Health Solutions is here to help. Physicians at Men's Health Solutions can offer multiple options, many at a lower price than you find at other local clinics. Just a $75 initial appointment fee that includes a test dose of medication and sample meds with no further commitments. You'll know the same day if it works, so what do you have to lose? ED treatment doesn't have to be expensive. Men's Health Solutions, 317-975-3945. menshealthsolutions.us.
Protect your wealth with a custom-made retirement plan from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors by calling 844-896-7233 and online at crownhaven.com. Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save up to $120 with the purchase of select tires using your Big O credit card. See store for details. Now open in Whitestown.
Sports with Dan Dockage.
Pat McAfee, congratulations. Thursday night, as I said, just got better on ESPN.
I was planning on going back to the NFL all the way up until a couple of weeks ago, and my knee just started balloon up. And it was a nice moment of closure for me where this Thursday Night Football thing is just the tip of the iceberg. I am pumped and excited about it, and I can't wait to get in the booth, and I'm very grateful for ESPN allowing me the opportunity to do so.
Dan Dockett, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. It's The Ride with JMV.
I'm saying that I'm too hot to handle, too cold to hold.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Orlovsky's great, man. He is. He just said, thanks, Andy, back to me. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I do. I mean, there's always like a jackass amongst us, right? But normally you guys are pretty damn awesome. That is good. Podcast that up. 1075thefan.com is where you can find that conversation, all encompassing regarding the AFC South and the Colts, and he's going to be somebody else. Hey, put him on the wagon with us right now if somebody not worrying about luck. Add him to that. You know, I forgot to ask him, Ben, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask him if he thought that Luck had a killer instinct or not. Hey, joining us now on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, Dan Orlovsky. Dan, do you think that Andrew Luck has a killer instinct? You imagine that jackassery got dropped there? Scooter Jeanette, gone. Tanner Roark, gone. And as of last night, Yasiel Puig, gone. I'm sorry, guys. I love me some Puig. At least we had these 3 months. And you can say what you want, and I didn't know a great deal about him. You know, other than the whole, outrageous behavior, incredible talent, licking the bat. But I really enjoyed watching him in a Reds uniform, and it bums me out that he's gone. My man Yanni writes this, JMV, the Reds brawl number 2 with the Pirates is the type of thing you get when you have guys like Derek Dietrich on your team. I know Hurdle has not been helpful to the situation, but when guys like Dietrich are disrespecting grown men as he has, this is what you get. Hey, man, the thing about that is Archer was moonwalking off the mound after a strikeout long before Dietrich stood there and watched the home run. And Hurdle's a red ass. I loved it last night. What was the pitcher? Crick? Who was the player for the Pirates? Crick, that wanted nothing to do near the dugout with Puig. I mean, Archer strikes somebody out and moonwalks off the mound, yet, you can't watch your home run. I mean, just give me a break. That's the Pittsburgh way right there. Hey, JMV, I believe Luck will be ready to go for the season opener. I'm not worried and will not be until I hear differently. Matt and Avon. All right, you're on there with me and Orlovsky right now. I feel good about that. Hey, JMV, the Reds were stupid for trading Puig. I understand they needed pitching, but not Puig. Sounds like Walt Jocketty's doing the moves again. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if the Dexter Williams is any better than Walt Jocketty. Full disclosure. I don't know if Tricky Dick Williams is better. Any Reds fans out there, what do you think? Who's better of the three? Bowden, Tricky Dick Williams, or Jocketty? Who would you take right now in a fight? A fight regarding former or current Reds decision makers. Just out of curiosity. Here was Orlovsky, too. Thanks, man. Andy is great. I apologize. These are busy days. Names gets crossed up. And that's what I told you. When I say Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline, he thinks that's the show. That's why at the tail end I had to sneak in the name of the show because I don't want to embarrass. See, that's one thing I don't try to do. I mean, if you're going to be a jackass, that happens and I get it. But if somebody calls up or if you email and you're not a jackass and you say the wrong thing, I'm not going to call you out on it or hang up on you or anything like that because that crap happens, man. I get it. And it's not like I don't know what you're talking about. That's just not me. Yeah, Clint Hurdle is that. Sounds like a poll question here, JMV. Dick Williams, Walt Jocketty, or Jim Bowden? Or Trader Jack McKeon? I'd go with Trader Jack McKeon, probably. I don't know. Bowden had some pretty good moments. JMV, thank you very much. Funches, TY, Campbell, Trips, man, I can't wait. Yeah, we kind of ask everybody about how this offense is going to look because remember, one of the other things we were talking about this time last year was, at least me, questioning the wide receiver position. And as it turned out, it needed to be questioned because it didn't work. It ended up working, but it didn't work. I mean, it was an epidemic of drops. I mean, Luck had 2 interceptions, I think, because it bounced off of hands and went into somebody else's hands. Who was that last year? Was that Pascal? Was it Zach Pascal in the... And listen, I was fine with Zach Pascal, too, by the way. Was that in the New England game? What game was it when it went in his hands, and then he dropped it, and it went in the hands of a defender? That is some nut stuff right there. Yeah, listen, Dick Wagner takes, as a Reds fan, it to a completely different level. Yeah, he's the one that sunk the Big Red Machine. Started by trading Tony Perez and then just decision-making wise got worse until it was all gone. Next thing I know, I'm watching Eddie Milner and Dave Collins playing the outfield, and I go, well, hell, this is over now. Great, thanks. What was I, 9? Next thing you know, there's Dave Collins in the outfield. Done. I'm watching Paul Householder play right field, and done. Sean writes in on this. Hey, JMV, what's more likely to happen here? Sabonis developing a better shot to stretch the floor or Miles developing some inside game to bang down low? All right, Sean, that is a hell of a question. I'm glad you asked. I've always said this, and even in my support of Miles, I always wonder if he is ever going to have much of a legitimate back-to-the-basket game or a low-post game. In fact, I have said this in the past, and I back Miles, I support him, but I've always wondered, to me, he looks just like a dude that's going to be facing up his career. Incredibly athletic for his size, but facing up. So I always thought Sabonis, probably with his interior presence, would have more of a chance. I mean, when you think about it, too, think about guys like Brook Lopez. Anybody would have ever thought in your wildest dreams, if you even ever noticed Brook Lopez, that one of these days he was going to be shooting threes from like 33 feet out and hitting them and was allowed to take them, had a green light to do so. So I always thought that Sabonis had more of an opportunity to be a face-up threat or develop into that than Miles would down low. However, hopefully working, this summer with Kevin McHale has helped him out a great deal. I do hope so, but I always thought Sabonis had a greater opportunity to add that aspect to his game that is missing and is going to be essential to this team. More so than what Miles had back to the basket. But the one thing you can't get on Miles, and you guys are going to just get on Miles all the time anyway, but yeah, clearly he's working at it. He's working to try to get better. So I like that. I admire it. JMV, I think it's probably more like 5 interceptions due to drop passes. For some reason, the only one that really occurs to me right now is Pascal. Matt writes this: I don't trust guys who, under 50, go by the name of Dick. I hate to see Puig go. You know anybody that's named Richard or Rich that goes by Dick? Yeah. I don't know if I question it that way. I would just kind of question it in general. Because I don't need any more people. Like, let's say, for example, my name was Richard. I wouldn't need more people, like, walking down the street going, hey, Dick, what's up? You know? So I'd agree. I'm not the biggest Matt fan of Dick Williams. But that's also kind of the whole Reds Cincinnati fan logic seeping in here. Can you imagine how brutal it would be just to be a complete Reds fan or a complete Cincinnati fan? And what you would have to deal with? You guys think you have problems around here. Can you imagine the schlep rock attitude that you have to be a Cincinnati sports fan? What you have to walk around with every day? Carrying around that load? That load of just knowing things aren't going to go your way? That'd be tough. And I just know it halfway home from being a Reds fan. And being a Reds fan, it really hasn't been like that. When I was growing up, man, there was nothing better. You know, and then Dick Wagner took it apart, and then they got screwed in the strike season of 81 and had some bad 80s teams. Pete Rose broke Ty Cobb's record. That was great. Pete Rose was the player manager. That was great. Then Pete Rose got in trouble. That wasn't so great. And then you had Wire to Wire in 1990, and Davey Johnson gave us some love. Like Trader Jack along the way gave everybody a little bit of love. But, we have, as Reds fans, been inspired by, Brian Price and Jerry Narron and, Dave Miley. Oh, those are just some off the top of my head right here. So, kind of quickly helps you understand exactly why Cincinnati fans are the way that they are. At least I get it by virtue of being a Reds fan. Reds make some moves today, not moves that everybody's going to like. Scooter Gennett, gone. Tanner Roark, gone. Hell, I didn't even get a chance to stop calling him Trevor. I think I called him Trevor for like 2 months. And as of last night, Yasiel Puig gone. All right, back to you on the other side. Bowen, top of the hour. Clayton Gethers is going to join us at 5:15. Justin Holiday at 5:30. I've got some stuff to give away. How about this? 15 minutes away from giving some stuff away. If somebody could tell me if there are any celebrities at Gen Con, I know Gen Con is going on right now, and I need a live, local, and late-breaking update tomorrow, since apparently I am not going to do a remote at the gathering of the Juggalos in Springville coming up this weekend, either tomorrow or Friday. I'm not going to do a remote. I'm going to have a gathering of the Juggalos update from somebody that's going to be down in the midst of the biggest mess in the history of Larry County. So if you're going to this, I need a live update from you coming up either tomorrow or on Friday. Back with you next.
How well do you know the Indiana State Fair? Test your knowledge for a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to this year's festivities. Log on 1075thefan.com.
What's the key to a stress-free summer? 3 words. New air conditioner. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger from 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. At 1 Hour, we'll guide you to the right air conditioner for your home. And back it with 3 more words. 10-year warranty. Buy a new system now and get a free 10-year parts and labor warranty. Call 844-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Excludes basic systems. Terms and conditions apply. License number 800106668.
This is going to be the absolute best once again this year. Kyle Kinnett, well done. BullseyeEventGroup.com. The Colts VIP tailgate will be at the Bullseye Event Center, the premier event center directly across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium. Of course, we have a pregame party before every Colts home game. And if you didn't know this, you can also rent that facility out for any of your parties. Business-wise, celebrations, whatever, you can rent it out. But I'm talking right now about the Colts VIP tailgate. All you can eat, all you can drink. We have fun I do radio shows in there. You have DJs. I know Skids and Indiana Jones are in there too. It is the pre-game party. The Colts VIP tailgate, plus this as what is a terrific wrinkle. New Orleans in December. We are putting together a trip to go to New Orleans for the Monday Night Football game. So we're going to have a weekend to celebrate and then a Monday nighter in New Orleans. And I'm going to do a couple of shows live down there. It is going to be spectacular. And all because of Kyle Cadet and BullseyeEventGroup.com. For all the information you need online right now, that's BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Is summer getting away from you? Kids back to school, football season started, and you still haven't gotten that exterior painting job done yet? Well, don't worry. You still have time thanks to your neighborhood CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated and right here in our community. And everything looked new again after CertaPro got done at my house last month, which made the whole family very happy. And because of the great response, CertaPro Painters of Indianapolis is extending their 20th anniversary special. You get a free interior wall paint upgrade for any project completed by September 1st. Give CertaPro Painters a call for more information to get on their schedule to take advantage of this great offer before the leaves start to fall and the outdoor painting season comes to an end. The phone number is 800-GO-CERTA or go to CertaPro.com to get set up for that free estimate. And remember, CERTA is spelled with a C. So whether you're looking to upgrade the curb appeal of your home or business or just looking for a fresh coat of paint for protection from the rain, sun, mold, and bugs, CertaPro Painters is ready to go. 800-GO-CERTA or CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
You know the name, Abra Auto Body Repair of America. You've trusted us for expert collision repair for over 30 years. We're starting a new chapter as Caliber Collision. Now you can get world-class collision repair backed by a national lifetime warranty at over 1,000 locations. Abra was known for getting you back on the road quickly and safely. And now, as Caliber, we'll continue restoring the rhythm of your life. A new name, great people, and the same high standards of customer service. Abra is now Caliber Collision.
We're all trying to get in a little bit better shape these days. Some of us use the weight room, some like to run and hike, while others play the sports we love. But unfortunately, almost all of us will end up with some kind of ailment from trying to stay fit, and that's where Franciscan Health Orthopedics comes in. They'll fix what ails you so you can stay active. Again, it's okay to push yourself, but sometimes we go too far. And when that happens, the orthopedic experts at Franciscan Health are there for you. From sprains and tears to fractures and dislocations, they'll get you back in the game. Franciscan Health Orthopedics, inspiring health.
Back. And Cage the Elephant. Live in concert this Sunday at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center with very special guest Spoon and Wild Bell. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Back and Cage the Elephant. All the hits for one night only. Check more at back.com and CageTheElephant.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Big Joe, another big show at camp tomorrow. Colts guard Mark Lewinsky will join us. Ball State coach Mike New, and you never know who might stop by our tent here, right next to the practice fields in Westfield for Colts camp. Starts at 7.
The Ride.
Get busy living, or get busy dying.
With JMV.
I'm John. Thank you for joining us. Bowen's top of the hour. Clayton Geather's going to drop in here about 15 past, and Justin Holiday at 5:30. So we go Colts Pacers conversation if you want. We go Colts conversation with Clayton Geathers and the new Pacer, Justin Holiday, one of the two Holidays now on the team. So 3 TJs and 2 Holidays all coming up on the show as we get into the 5 o'clock hour. Stuff to give away. I'll explain that in a second. JMV at 1070thefan.com via email right now. JMV, was Pete Rose on the Reds or the Phillies when he broke that record? Man, why don't you just kick me right in the groin? 1985, I believe, in September, it was Pete Rose off of Eric Shaw. A little looper, little line drive that had a hump in it, into left field. And that's where the record was broken. I was sitting right there in a living room as a 15-year-old going, yeah. Steve Garvey and his Popeye hairy forearms over there at first base. Eric Shaw. Thank you, Bruce, for the email. It's one of those moments I say all the time, man. We live for moments where you can remember where you were when crap went down, when a sports moment occurred. And that was one of them. Who was that? Was that Ken Wilson and Ray Lane back in the day? Can anybody remember that? I know that I was watching on Channel 4. Ken Wilson and Ray Lane. Hello, anybody? Hey, JMV, I think Shotzi was a better decision maker for the Reds than all these clowns. Neil, thank you. Hey, JMV, give me Puig against all three Reds decision makers at the same time. I'm with you on Puig. I like him. I was not offended because he's a friend, but I was unsurprised and disappointed that our friend Matt Taylor, the voice of the Colts last week, kind of displayed displeasure in Yasiel Puig. And if he's out there listening right now on his way home, yeah, it did stick with me a little bit. I like the way that he played. I thought he played as hard as any of you old crusty baseball dudes want guys to play. Run that ball out. Hop over the line or it's bad luck. Yeah, I'm one to say that, so. Unwritten rules. Chris Sabo, that thing around the bases after a home run. You don't want to piss off the pitcher. So Chris Sabo hit a home run, and he was like in a 40-yard dasher on the bases. That's how everybody should play. I love Chris Sabo, too. There's a sprint around the bases like I'm on fire. That's pretty classic right there. Hey, JMV, yesterday Rakestraw stated that he knew who the 5 wide receivers were going to be. Who gets bumped out? Pascal, Rogers, he never listed them. Well, did he say that he knew who they were going to be?
I think he said he had a pretty good idea.
Pretty good idea who they're going to be.
He thinks they will be.
Did he name them yesterday?
No, he didn't.
What was I, sleeping? Was that a conversation we had? My bad, Rakestraw. I can't remember. I can't remember who Rakestraw believed the 5 are going to be. That's fantastic. JMV, so with luck, do we now have a modern-day version of Chris Crystal Chandelier Chandler? Hey, Michael, do you think that Andrew Luck is Chris Chandler Jr.? Let's call Chris. Where's Chris Chandler still around? I always hesitate if I haven't heard from somebody in a long time and hope that I don't make an ass of myself. But Chris Chandler's still around. We need to call Chris Chandler and see if he thinks that his career is similar to Andrew Luck. Chris Chandler didn't make it to a Super Bowl, though, didn't he? With the Falcons? I believe he was the quarterback of the Falcons. Was that the Dirty Bird era? Was that when Chandler, or was that after that? Was that the Dirty Bird era with Eugene Robinson getting Man of the Year in the NFL and then getting busted paying for a hooker like 15 hours later? Hey, Man of the Year. Man of the Year's getting busted getting a hooker. Greg writes this, JMV, I didn't think that I would like Puig at all, but he was awesome. He's a super likable guy and really fun to watch. I hate to see him go. But the licking the bat stuff is weird. Yeah, I don't want to see him go either. That bummed me out. JMV, how has Damon Bailey been? I don't know. Has anybody seen Damon lately? I have not talked to him. I have a friend named Poodle Baxter down in Bedford that knows him. So if you know Poodle Baxter, ask Poodle how Damon's doing. I think Poodle would know. See, that's another great nickname right there. I mean, you're Poodle, all right? You're either Poodle or you're not. That's a great nickname. Hey, JMV, as far as John is concerned, Regarding Dick Williams, not a problem. Roster is good. Bell cannot manage the bullpen. Look at the record in one-run games this year. Who blew a 7-0 lead to St. Louis? I hope Bell gets 15 games so the Reds can get 10 or 15 back. See, that's the other thing I was going to ask. Let's say Bell does get, and I think that the hammer's going to come down if he does get 10 games or so. Will that be better or worse for the Reds fans? If he gets that suspension. All right, quick one and we'll come back. Bowen, top of the hour. Clayton Geathers, 5:15. Justin Holiday coming up at 5:30. Maybe some more snowboarding for Andrew. I would doubt it. I would like to know. They said it was during working out. Or training. That's what they say in soccer, right? You don't work out, you train. Yeah, I'm training. I don't think I've ever said, like, when I'm going out and, like, just playing basketball, I'm training. Hold on. We're training. JMV, players clearing the bullpen for a fight is the most ridiculous thing in sports. Every one of them should be tossed. Listen, that was chaos last night. That was a real deal. I mean, everybody always makes fun or clowns on, those normal garden variety so-called base brawls where everybody goes out there and then, the main participants kind of act like Mike and Dazed and Confused in hopes that somebody gets in between them before the real fists are flying. And last night wasn't the case. Amir Garrett just said, you know what? I just gave up a yacker. And this stinks, and you guys are saying stuff, and I'm going to come down there. I'm going to fight every one of you. That was awesome. Yeah, normally I wouldn't really enjoy somebody wanting to go fight just because he just gave up a home run, but last night, whatever. Those guys, Pittsburgh's dirty. Clint Hurdle's a red-ass, dirty manager. I mean, this has been brewing for a long time. And listen, David Bell was right about one thing. I mean, nothing was ever done. So you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. And that's what we got last night. Bowen, top of the hour. Clayton Geathers, Justin Holiday, you, me, stuff to give away. Right now, in fact. Let's do it. Not Fest starring Slipknot. Not Fest starring Slipknot. 239-1070. We'll go number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 10 at 239-1070 right now. Thank you, Live Nation. Back with you next.
Sports with Dan Dockett.
Matt McAfee joins. All right, what would happen first? I go to Coach Nights for dinner, or you go hang out with Ryan Grigson, have dinner and drinks. Would you ever do that?
I think I've gotten to a stage in my life where it's kind of like bygones be bygones. I would enjoy having a drink with Ryan Grigson, I believe, so we could chit-chat about some misunderstandings, mostly on his side. I think it would be a cool conversation.
Dan Dockett, weekdays noon till 3 on FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan.
Having ED issues? Locally owned Men's Health Solutions has a $75 initial appointment fee that includes a test dose of medication and sample meds. Men'sHealthSolutions.us.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Do you have Medicare and Indiana Medicaid? With Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, you could be getting so much more. Anthem may provide up to $2,000 towards dental, $0 copays on many prescriptions, and up to $1,320 for over-the-counter healthcare items. Get more out of your Medicare and Medicaid coverage. Switch today. Call 866-649-8826. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is an HMO special needs plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield depends on contract renewal.
Hey, let's get you guys down for a great staycation. JMV here for the Four Winds Lakeside Inn and Marina. And this 3-night staycation, Sunday through Thursday, $199. That's 3 nights in a garden double room, or upgrade that, $99 more, and you go lakeside, which is an awesome thing, by the way, too. I love Lake Monroe, and I love the Four Winds. It is great. So many things to do. You got the pool, you got the mini golf, you got boat rental, hiking trails. Yeah, I know it's not likely that I'm going to go hiking. I'll probably hike up to the Windjammer and grab some drinks and then lay by the pool. But it is great. It is relaxing, and now's a fantastic time. Thank you, Tony, and taking advantage of it, too. And make sure that you get this thing reserved before it's booked up solid here. 812-824-BOAT. 812-824-2628 or online, fourwindslakeside.com right now.
For the extraordinary Hoosiers who grow our food, feed our minds, make us safe, and keep us free. An extraordinary celebration. Your Indiana State Fair salutes Heroes in the Heartland. Presented by Indiana Donor Network. Get discount tickets till August 1st at indianastatefair.com. Heroes in the Heartland. Your Indiana State Fair. August 2nd through 18th.
As a small business owner, when was the last time you considered switching internet providers?
I don't even remember. Running a business keeps me pretty busy.
Let's compare your current provider to Comcast Business. Are you getting fast, reliable internet?
Sometimes.
How about a full suite of innovative services like separate Wi-Fi networks, 4G wireless backup, and advanced voice solutions?
I highly doubt it.
Sounds like Comcast Business could give you more. Make the switch to the nation's largest gig speed network now and get an amazing deal. Right now, get fast 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and autopay. Offer ends 8/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra, subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. The Kirbys have been in business for nearly 4 decades, and son Robert says his parents' business practices won't ever change.
I love the way that they've ran the business, treat the customer right. Word of mouth is our biggest advertisement, so you treat people right and they're going to recommend you 10 times more, so it's been great.
Call Jessica, Lloyd, Robert, and Adam at Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning at 317-892-3614. Kirby is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Chicks dig me because I rarely wear underwear, and when I do, it's usually something unusual.
On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Cal's over there, I'm John. Clayton Geathers in about 15 minutes. Justin Holiday in about 30 minutes. Tickets to see Alice in Chains and Korn. Tomorrow's show loaded. It is the guide to the college football season. Phil Steele's going to join us coming up on tomorrow's show. Tucker Barnhart on tomorrow's show. Mike Chappell on tomorrow's show. I don't know when and where, and I don't know if you care, and I don't know how I'm going to use it, but you know what? They said, hey, John, everybody around knows that they love your show, but you also love music. Would you want to talk to Boys to Men? And I'll be damned, there's no way that I can't talk to Boys to Men. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do that, I don't think live tomorrow, but I'm going to talk to Boys to Men tomorrow. I am. I'm the boys to men. Motown Philly's back again. All coming up on tomorrow's show. And again, your live updates from you of members of the Gathering of Juggalos down in Springville tomorrow and Friday. Live and local updates for you. If we can't do a remote down there and get arrested like everybody else is gonna, we might as well get live updates. The Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline. Kevin Bowen joins us from 1075thefan.com. I know that the luck stuff is kind of taken over, but besides that, which we'll talk about in a second, what are we talking about for the earlier today, I guess I should say?
I thought the defense dominated today's practice. It was the first live tackling we've seen in the 2019 camp, and they did a goal line session where they did some live tackling, and I thought the defense was really stout, and it was mostly reserves in there, but the defensive line definitely controlled the line of scrimmage. I thought Rock Yassin had a nice day. He was put on an island a few times against Devin Funchess, picked off a ball, and then caused an incompletion a couple plays later. So pretty good day for the Temple cornerback. But outside of that, it was a lot of rest days. You probably had 8 or 9 starters sitting out. And, yeah, it was their third practice in full pads, so I assume they'll get into full pads again tomorrow before an off day on Friday.
All right. Most people have talked about Rock Yassin and had a lot of good things to say about it. I mean, it's tough to make a really critical evaluation in these early stages, but what has been your impression to this point?
You know, something I noticed, John, is a lot of those deflected balls that seemingly passed Colts defenses, you know, those balls just fell hopelessly on the turf. It seems like Rock is a guy that just finds those balls. And they might not be this, you know, crazy one-on-one sort of man coverage interception, but at the end of the day, it's a turnover for your defense. And a big emphasis this year for the Colts is improving points off turnovers, creating more opportunities via short fields. And he's probably had 3 or 4 picks here in camp. He also had some interceptions in the spring as well. So, I mean, he is a guy that's getting his hands on the ball probably more so than any other defensive back throughout the 6 practices so far at Grand Park. I still think he's in the mix and is still competing for that third corner spot, rounding out that nickel group with Kenny Moore and Pierre Desir being your definite starters. The Colts are rotating a lot at that third corner position. I'd say Quincy Wilson has probably taken the most starting reps because pretty much nowadays you play nickel, you know, 85% of the time anyways. But I think Rock Yassin is definitely in the mix, and he could very well, you know, be that nickel corner come week 1 in LA.
Yeah, I saw this a little bit earlier, too. On the other side of the football, your impression has not been as good with Deon Cain to this point.
Today especially. Yeah, I think there's been some moments for Cain, and, you know, obviously he's coming back from an ACL, so I didn't expect it to be all smooth sailing. 6 practice into it. But today was by far his worst day. Probably 3 drops. If you're Deon Cain's family, you might call it 2 drops. He stayed after practice by himself to run some routes, really kind of all alone on the adjacent practice field. So I think the best news, honestly, for Deon Cain through the first 6 practices, he's not favoring that knee at all. There's no knee brace. I don't see him gingerly moving or tentatively with any of his movements on the field. So that's all good news, you know, for a guy that tore his ACL pretty much a year ago. But as far as team sessions, you know, team production and 11-on-11, we haven't really seen much of it at all from Deon Cain. I mean, he's really running with all pretty much second and third teamers right now. So I think the big thing for him is just preseason games. What does he look like when it's real? Yeah. Because, you know, he barely got any of that action last year.
I'm going to talk with him coming up in just a little bit, but what's been your impression on Clayton Geathers? I know he did not participate today, but so far on a guy that, you know, is hoping for the best on a 1-year deal with this team defensively.
Yeah, obviously a huge prove-it deal for him. I would say he's on a bit of a pitch count, which is to be expected considering he missed the entire spring and barely practiced late last season. Malik Hooker has practiced every single day. That's probably the good news. Malik Hooker and Marlon Mack, 2 guys that have battled injuries before, they've practiced every single day, even dating back to the spring. When Geathers is kind of like he'll do a full team session, do another full team session, then he might sit out the rest of practice and they go to George Odom or Kari Willis. Haven't noticed a whole lot of activity for the safeties. It's to be expected for a guy like Malik Hooker. At that back end, he doesn't get challenged a whole lot, especially without Andrew Luck in the lineup. But yeah, Clayton Geathers, I'd say, a relatively quiet first 6 practices. But again, I would say the big thing for him is just he's on the field, he's consistently on the field, and that's vital for a guy that is used to probably spending more time on the rehab field this time of year than he is on the actual practice field.
1075thefan.com is where you find his work. K Bowen 1070, which I guess you'll have to change that sometime. I guess we both have to change these one of these days, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you gonna?
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I think I got to, right? Or else they might let me go or something.
Great retort right there. Well done.
Yeah. So yeah, K Bowen 1075 doesn't really flow as well as
just keep it there. You don't have to change it. You can still hear us on that too. It's all good, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think I might keep it.
Before we dive into the whole Luck thing, and I think you and I have a slightly different viewpoint on that, Jabal Sheard, is it concerning to you that he might be sidelined for more than just a little bit of time, as they have suggested past couple of days or going back to the weekend?
I think a little bit, especially because while he doesn't bring the flash off the edge as a pure speed rusher, he's, arguably your best run defender. Maybe not even arguably. And I think he's a big reason why you were a top 10 rushing defense last year. And you forget how durable Jabal Sheard is. It was crazy to me to look up this stat. Over the last 2 years, he's the only Colts player to have started every game. All 32 games he's played, the next closest defender still on the roster is a trio. It's Kenny Moore, Marcus Hunt, and Malik Hooker, all with 20 starts. So Jabal Sheard is a guy that you just shouldn't take for granted. He's been in the lineup every single week, whether it was the 3-4 back in 2017 or the 4-3 last year. And like I said, I think he brings kind of a violent nature to the run game. And you look at his backups, Al-Qadim Muhammad, I think actually played pretty well, considering, where he came from and maybe the expectations you would have for him late last season when you needed him. But when you go to Kamoko Terry or Ben Banogu, those guys aren't giving you the same run defense sort of presence that Jabal Sheard gives you. So we'll see how long he's going to miss. I've heard some conflicting reports on if he can be back this preseason or if it's something that could eat into the regular season. Yeah. But I do think it's notable because he's been extremely durable. And again, he gives you a presence on the early downs, which should not be taken for granted.
Hey, Kev, can you hang on hold for a couple of minutes here? Would you mind? Because I do want to get to the quarterback position on the other side of this. Are you cool with that?
Yeah. Just give me a call back.
All right. I'm going to call him right back here, okay? Kev, come right back. Kevin Bowen here, 1075thefan.com. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, we'll get Kev back in a second. Safety Clayton Geathers joins us now. So kind of an off day for you today. Was that all a part of the schedule, you not participating this afternoon?
Yes, there's a plan in place. So I'm just following the script and just trying to do the best I can. So, take the days I can, and then, when I'm out there, go full speed.
Yeah, what is the script for you, if you could share that with us and everybody out there right now?
No, it's just, it's a plan to, keep my body up to par and then, just make sure, I can give my all throughout the day. So there's a good plan in place, and I'm just following it.
How have you felt since, coming back from the injury in general? Where are you right now? What place are you at right now as far as how you feel health-wise?
Oh, I feel good. It's been a while since I felt like this.
Dude, wait a minute. You can continue. Hey, Clayton, you just sold that, man. I mean, you sold that with, oh, man, I feel good. It sold it to everybody out there. Well done.
No, I really do. Compared to last year, having a tough season last year and just coming into this camp and feeling the way I am, it's a blessing for one, and just I got to give all the credit to everybody who had a hand in it, just to get me to this point right now. And I just feel good. Just rock and roll, go out there, help the team any way I can. So I'm just feeling good to be back.
Yeah, you're in the midst of a season a year ago, or man, everything's starting to take off and feel really good, and then you fall into that. To me, and not knowing this, it has to almost feel worse mentally than it is physically to have that happen to you at that point.
Oh yes, absolutely. It kind of drains you. It's frustrating. Just you work so hard for something, and then boom, something like that happens. But it was tough. But then it showed me a lot. You just can't take things for granted. You never know when your last play going to be. You never know when your last meeting is going to be. So it just made me see things from a different view. And it put things in perspective. That I probably buried at a time, but now I just brought it back, and I just got to have fun with this.
And Clayton Gathers joins us. I think it would be very difficult not to really get kind of devoured by, just being sad and kind of wallowing a little bit, which I know you're not that type of person. But again, I think mentally, Clayton, that can be tough to sidestep, man, once it sets in, clearly.
Yeah, no. It was tough. It is tough. Just going through that. But like I said, just the people in this building, your teammates, just the encouragement, your family, that kind of helped me, not go in that sinking place, because once you go in that sunken place, you're there. So it kind of helped me, the guys in this building, training staff, even ownership, just kind of just helped me working through it mentally. That really was a plus. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, he is Clayton Gathers. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So, defensive-wise, this is going to be your second year, obviously, Matt Eberflus defense, and we talk all the time and joke with Anthony Walker and others about loafs and things like that. But this is clearly a defense that is evolving for the better right now. Is this as deep as you have seen this defensively since you've been here?
It's a deep team. And the add-ins that came in, guys are making their mark early. Rock, he making plays. Kari, he making plays. And that's just the name of it. Guys are making plays, and this team, it's really a team. The locker room, just guys just hanging together. It feels like a family. So I like the way this is going. This team is going. This defense is going. And I'm happy to be a part of it, really.
Does Eberflus hand out loaves in training camp?
Oh, yeah.
Well, does he hand out loaves when you guys go to lunch, too, or what? How's that work? Everywhere you go, you get a loaf?
Hey, you better be on the move.
How does that work? How does it work? How does it work, though, Clayton, in training camp compared to the regular season?
It's the same. There's no let up, and I think that's the difference. That's the standard. It is just because of the season. You cut back. No, it's the same. And that's the mark, and you hold everybody accountable. And I think that's what really brings this defense to light. Every man is held accountable.
Had you ever been through a level of accountability, or had your play moment by moment under the microscope is what you have had with Matt Eberflus?
Yes, I think everyone who got to this point has had their play under a microscope. If you didn't, you wouldn't get to this point. So I really think that really shines a lot of light on it. Because like I said, everybody's held accountable. So we don't walk past a mistake. He always says that you never walk past a mistake, and he don't care if you. Year 10, year 5, this is your first year, he won't walk past a mistake. And that's just accountability. The group sees, and we hold each other accountable for that.
It's Clayton Gathers of the Colts. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, sell that feeling good thing for everybody out there, the Colts fans again. How good you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. No, I really am. Mentally, physically, even spiritually.
Spiritually. Whoa, I didn't know we were going to go to that. Well, that's nice. I didn't know we were going to go there, but you're as well-rounded a feeling player as I think I've talked to in the past week.
Yeah, can't take it for granted. So, hey,
you're right about that.
I have fun with it.
You're right about that. Hey, have a great camp. We'll look to see you back again and talk to you again soon, Clayton. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right, Clayton Geathers on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Back to Kevin Bowen, 1075thefan.com, because I wanted to end this conversation with him regarding the quarterback position. But different levels of feeling great from Clayton Geathers right there. That's nice.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, and like we were talking about before, I would say in the non-Luck Jabal Shear division, it's really been pretty good injury news on guys like Clayton Geathers, Deion Kane, Jack Doyle, Ross Travis, some of those guys that missed a lot of the spring. So Clayton Geathers physically needs to feel good because, unfortunately, just life in the NFL, this might be his last chance to really prove himself in this league.
It's funny when I ask him about his impression on the depth of this defense. I mean, he named guys that are going to be competing for his gig. I admire that. I do, because I think that's tough. Seriously.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think he's being pushed.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he'll fall out of the starting lineup, but Chris Ballard loves George Odom, loves him, and Khari Willis has probably been the rookie in my mind that has maybe taken the biggest jump. I know EJ Speed saw some starting reps today, the 5th-round pick out of Tarleton State, which was a bit of a surprise, but Khari Willis, from where he was in the spring to where we've seen him now, he's taken a pretty significant jump as well. And obviously, you traded 20 spots up to draft him, so you clearly think pretty highly of him. So I think there's a lot of writing on the wall that this could be the last year in a Colts uniform for Clayton Geathers. But in terms of a pro and how he handles himself, he's right up there with anybody else in that locker room in terms of what the Colts want in a high-character individual.
I'm glad you brought up George Odom. What is with the legend of George Odom through the eyes of Chris Ballard? Have you ever done a story or analyzed that at all? Because there's a high level of interest and somewhat a cult legendary status working there.
Yeah, Chris Ballard has a few man crushes on that football team. I think George Odom is indeed one of them. I haven't, gone too deep with Ballard on that, but I think from an undrafted standpoint, he's a guy that came in here and I know made some boneheaded penalties, and there was a bit of like a TJ Green sort of penalty aspect to his game last year. But I also thought he made several key plays for you at a position that suffered a ton of attrition throughout the year, with Matthias Farley going down and Clayton Geathers in and out of the lineup, even Malik Hooker in and out at times. And George Odom played through some injuries, especially late in the season. So they think he's healthy. He looks healthy. And when Clayton Geathers has been going out early in practice, once his kind of pitch count, I think, starts to rise, it's been George Odom as that third safety. So I think he's going to play a lot for you, and it's going to be a key special teamer here in 2019.
All right, Kev, final thing I saved. I don't know if it's the best for last, but it certainly is last in this case. We have somewhat of a differing opinion on how we're both thinking about the latest Andrew Luck situation. And as I told you yesterday, I called you off the air, and I told you that I was told that, hey, cool it on this, don't go overboard with it because everything is going to be just fine. And while I take that tact in part, Kevin, because I was just so worn out from the past couple of years. That's kind of why I'm going this direction. But at the same time, give me some of your reasons why, even if it all does turn out okay, why this is not at all something that you should not just move past as of right now, with Luck, in general, just missing a lot of practice time, or all the practice time, if you will.
Yeah, I've not taken part in a team practice since January. I would say the best news for Andrew Luck and the Colts is they have time on their side, 5.5 weeks till the season opener. Where I have concern is this. What we watched him do in practice and training camp, that is about as controlled of a setting as you're going to get. And what Andrew Luck said yesterday is, I need to get into, situations in my rehab where there are even less variables. Well, individual drills and 7-on-7 wearing a red jersey as a quarterback, you can't get into much more of a controlled setting that could be further from what you experience on a Sunday afternoon come the regular season than what he was doing. And so if he is feeling, like something's going to yank or something's going to pull, like things like that, he was already feeling that in those super controlled settings. What is it going to be like when things get more strenuous, when he is in a crowded pocket, when he's got to make subtle movements? that's where I have some pause and concern. And I sit here right now and still think he's going to play week one. I firmly believe that. But it goes to how effective can he be? Because his ability to move in the pocket and his ability to make plays with his legs is it might be his best physical attribute outside of kind of just being an accurate quarterback. And if that is missing or he's second-guessing himself, I don't know how he can be the elite level guy that we expect him to be here in 2019. So that's where I still have questions that need to be answered, because you haven't done anything testing yourself in practice from a very serious replicating game sort of scenarios. So how do you know that you're going to be 110% come week one when Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram are coming after you on a third down?
All right, I know this is way above your age right now, but I'm going to give you a War Games analogy here. 1 to 5, with 1 being the worst. Where is the DEFCON number right now for Andrew Luck in terms of freaking out? Where should we be?
Oh, boy, that's a good one. I'd say 3-ish, 3.5. Again, time is on your side. 5.5 weeks is a lot of time. Granted, this is a calf injury that's gone on for 3 months. So clearly 3 months hasn't really solved much, and I'm not sure what a week of rest is going to do. But, again, you have time on your side. Andrew Luck has played through worse pain. So that's where I kind of label it in the 3.5. Why I don't say it's like a 5 is just because there is still some concern I have of like, okay, if he's feeling a yank or a pull in these sort of 7-on-7, there's no pass rush whatsoever settings, what's it going to be like when you have to realize that, oh boy, I'm not wearing a red jersey anymore, there's a real pass rush coming after me?
You know what? And I don't know if you even know this, though. I think between 4 and 3, DEFCON-wise, 4 is increased intelligence gathering and security measures. So we're still trying to gather information and basically see what happens on Saturday before you move that up all the way to 3, right? That's what we're going with?
This fits Andrew Luck so well. He would love this discussion. He'd find it fascinating. You should get Andrew Luck. Call the Colts so you can get him on tomorrow to break it down like that.
And I get him every year, and I enjoy it, but I swear to you, this year above all else, because he is so against answering hypotheticals, I want to just ask him nothing but hypotheticals this year. Just nothing but hypotheticals.
If you start a question with if, he literally stops you.
Yeah.
No. I'm not doing any hypothetical, which, he said yesterday, absolutely I'll be ready week one, which I believe. But again, you haven't tested your calf in a really, really serious manner quite yet. So how does he even know?
Listen, I think that's accurate. I think that's that. But listen, don't pull me into your quagmire, please. All right?
There's reason for people to have concern. People that think this is all rose petals and whatever, man, I'll take whatever you're drinking. This is a calf injury that's gone on for over 3 months. And the guy's already
It's tough for me to argue.
He's missed double the amount of practice time, John, this camp than he missed last camp.
Stop it. See, I'm trying to be Kevin Bacon in Animal House right here. Remain calm, all is well, and you're breaking my stride, man. Come on.
Let's all go to DEFCON 3.5 or 4, gather some more information, and you and I will chat next Wednesday.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think the day, if you will, the mark on the calendar, if you want to do that, is Saturday, I guess, right?
Yeah, Saturday it sounds like they will reassess some things, and I would be somewhat surprised, honestly, if he participated in team activities during training camp. I think we're almost reaching that point, because once you get into, I assume he's going to come back Saturday and do 7-on-7, that individual stuff that he did, do that through the following week. Then you get into the joint practices with the Browns. Do you really want to throw him out there against the Browns, even in joint practices? I wouldn't think so, but that's a lot of me just throwing out some random thoughts and not really saying it with a whole lot of conviction.
Kevin Bowen, 1075thefan.com. The DEF CON level of readiness right now is between 4 and 3. So we'll call it looking for increased intelligence gathering and maybe security measures, which I guess have already been taken by virtue of him not playing for sure as they had planned in preseason week number 1 against Buffalo. So that's where we are, according to Kevin Bowen right now, and we shall keep track of this. I appreciate it, man, as always. Thanks, too, and thanks for holding on.
Yep, definitely. Anytime, John.
Kevin Bowen. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. You're going to really like this conversation. We'll switch it a little bit to the Pacers. Their latest signing is a name that you know. They got now 3 TJs and 2 Holidays. The latest Holiday added to the roster, Justin. And we shall talk with Justin Holiday and give some stuff away. Keep in mind that is on the way as well. Back with you next.
You know you work well together as a team. Now take your team to Royal Pen and make your next corporate event fun and affordable. Royal Pen Leisure Centers offer the perfect combination of food and fun for your next group event. At Royal Pen, you don't have to be a super athlete to have a blast. Everyone's on the team when you're bowling. Bowling is a fun, affordable way to socialize and compete with your colleagues. Create team spirit without meetings, reports, or deadlines. Just good times. And keep in mind, it's always cool in our non-smoking facilities. To get the ball rolling, call Royal Pen today at 465-8484 and we'll organize your next corporate event. Get ready to trade in your wingtips and heels for a pair of bowling shoes and have fun bowling.
Set them up, knock them down, send them flying, spinning round.
For more information, call 465-8484 or look us up at royalpen.com.
Royal Pen Bowling, bowling.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
An effective defense often hinges on sophisticated strategies relating to income tax projections, business valuations, spousal support claims. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. We're almost halfway through summer, and if you haven't found the home of your dreams, I have some great news for you. Mortgage interest rates continue to drop, and we are back to those historic low levels. What does that mean for you? You have a lot more buying power. You can now expand your search to a higher price point and still have the same payment. The 5-minute loan approval only available at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, John, for the 4 Winds, Lakeside Inn and Marina, and what a great staycation idea. You got to be sure you book this before they're completely sold out. I'm talking, thank you, Tony, by the way, too. 3 nights, Sunday through Thursday, just $199. 3 nights in a garden double room, or you can upgrade to a lakeside view for just $99. There is so much to do there. I love being poolside, going into the Windjammer Bar and Grill, grabbing some drinks, going back out. On the lake is spectacular. There's boat rental. You can do whatever and just have a great vacation staying close to home. It's the staycation that you want in the month of August. But hurry, I want you to make sure you get this reserved before they get booked up. 812-824-BOAT. Tell Tony that I sent you. 812-824-2628 or online, 4windslakeside.com.
Calling all Bobs. IndianaUnclaimed.gov and the Office of the Indiana Attorney General may have money for you. In fact, we owe people named Bob more than $3.4 million. In all, we have nearly $500 million ready to return to deserving Hoosiers like Bob. And you, do we have money for you or the Bob in your life? Find out at IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's worth a look. See and search for yourself. IndianaUnclaimed.gov.
Back. And cage the elephant. live in concert this Sunday at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center with very special guest Spoon and Wild Bell. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Back and Cage the Elephant. All the hits for one night only. Check more at back.com and cagetheelephant.com. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save up to $120 with the purchase of select tires using your Big O credit card. See store for details. Now open in Whitestown.
It's The Ride with JMV.
For Christ's sakes, will you cover yourself?
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Kevin Bowe and Clayton Gathers and Dan Orlovsky today. Hey, turn this up just for a second before we get to our next guest, would you? Turn it up here. Another holiday. There's an Aaron already, and now, as of earlier today, there is a Justin holiday. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, the story, if you did not know it, of the new pacer, Justin Holiday, and he's kind enough to join us right now. Justin, thank you very much for the time. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, great. Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate that. The first thing that kind of occurs to me, Justin, is did it shock you that once this thing kind of got rolling in free agency that the Pacers made a play for you at all?
I won't say that it shocked me because they actually were, I've talked to them in the past or even, been around here in the past and stuff. There's always been interest, from both sides. So I wasn't shocked. I guess I can say I'm more shocked that it actually did happen because I didn't think it, it just wasn't something I was thinking was going to happen.
Yeah. Like
that. But, this is a great feeling. I'm surprised that I'm here and, excited to be here and, play with my brother.
It's probably a faulty question, too, because I should have probably asked, was there other teams out there that you thought maybe going into free agency that you had a better chance of ending up on than here in Indianapolis? That probably would have been a better question to ask.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like Indianapolis, wasn't an option, but I guess the thing is with me, to be honest with you, I never know. And that's one thing I've learned in doing this job for so long that I didn't know. So I didn't have assumptions on where I was going to go. I knew places that, there's been interest always, throughout the years and in the past and stuff like that. But I actually wasn't even quite sure. So I really didn't know where I was going to end up, and I'm excited to be here.
It's Justin Holiday, the Pacers on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I'm glad you're here, too, because, frankly, in the games I watched you play against the Pacers last year, you kind of whipped our ass a little bit. I mean, really?
I played well here a few times, but I mean, I think it's just how it is. Playing certain teams and certain arenas and certain players. I guess this brings out the best of me. I'm a competitor and love playing against, especially Indiana teams. You guys have always been I can say we now.
Yeah,
have always been a good team and a very competitive team, and always had great players. So I guess I just was able to step up to the occasion, and hopefully I can bring that every night this year.
So Justin Holiday with us. Is this the first time that you've been a teammate of one of your brothers?
No, actually, my first real official NBA games ever, I was with Drew in Philadelphia for 9 games. I got called up from the D League and finished the season with them in Philadelphia. So that was my first official NBA team. Was playing with Drew. I played with both of them.
Did you not?
Will play with both of them.
Did you not play in high school? At all?
Me and Aaron, me and Drew both played in high school together.
Okay.
But me and Aaron obviously couldn't.
Yeah, couldn't. How good were you and Drew in Holiday, or how good were you and Drew as far as high school is concerned?
Oh, our teams are really good. We won 2 state titles. The first year we won state, we were at 32-0, and the second year we won state, we were at 33-1.
Yeah. So
we did pretty good. We probably only lost like 6 games in high school altogether.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Decent. That is pretty good. How is it being a part? You probably get this all the time. How is it being a part of a set of brothers, as you guys are, that have made it to the highest level in basketball and doing what you want to do? Because, I mean, it is the rarity of rarity, without question here. But how does it feel to be a part of this?
Oh, man, it's awesome, man. It's a blessing, 100%. I mean, because we all know how hard it is to get to this level. We've all done it in different ways, had different career paths to get here, and the fact that we all still, are here and here at the same time is just a complete blessing, from God. And as far as us playing basketball and doing this, that part is just normal to us. It's like, everyday life. To us, we've always done this. We've always played basketball and enjoyed playing with one another, with our family, and not to be able to do it as a job. And again, all three of us, and even for myself to be able to play with both of my brothers, like that's a lot of this stuff is just unheard of. And I'm just thankful that, I'm able to experience this and I at least know, like, at the end of the day, like what I can take from this, if there was anything else, is that, I played with my brothers at this level, and we've all played and competed against each other. And now, like I said, for myself, I play with both of them. So
that's amazing. Justin Holiday's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Looking back, and obviously your parents were really good at Arizona State. What goes without saying. When was the first time you remember that you beat either one of your parents in a game of basketball?
Beat either one of my parents?
Yeah. When you played them, how old were you?
I don't know if I played. I remember playing my mom once. Me and Drew were playing my mom and dad 2-on-2, but I don't remember what that score was, and I never played my mom too much really 1-on-1. I don't remember when I beat my dad for the first time. I'm sure it was sometime, and it had to be sometime around. I don't know, because my dad's still good. My dad can play now.
But he is.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think I can beat my dad now, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a game. I couldn't tell you. That's a good question. I don't know. I have to ask him that.
Well, please do, and I'll check back in at a later date, and we'll come to the conclusion of this. When's the first time one of your brothers beat you?
I mean, me and Drew grew up with each other, so I'm sure he beat me when we were young. Games went back and forth all the time. And Aaron had to be sometime when he was older, probably in high school or some point.
So Justin Holiday with us. Now, are you and Aaron going to be roommates here?
Roommates? No, I'm married with kids, and I can't do that. well, with one daughter, I can't. Yeah, there's no way. No way. Wife's not going for that one.
That's probably a hell of an idea right there. So just
some money.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys are, looking to save a little bit. I mean, who knows? And, live together, see how thing goes, and then go from there. Yeah.
Saving money won't be a good enough reason. So.
Man, Justin, let me tell you this: if you're gonna shoot down a question, you can go ahead and shoot down with that one as quick as possible. That's okay, and there's no problem right there. Justin Holiday, he joins us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So what do you expect to be a part of here with this Pacer team that's trying to build something here in the Eastern Conference going into this year?
Yeah, I mean, I expect to be a part of an exciting team, a team that's going to compete and, have a chance to win every night, being a winning team, a playoff team. I mean, that's going to just be a crazy experience. The last time I was in playoffs was when I was with the Warriors, and that was a while ago for me. So I'm just really excited to be a part of a team that's going to compete, going to be able to play at the highest level, and hopefully get further than they did last year, and make some noise and see what happens. Because I think we have a really, really good chance here of winning and being special in the playoffs. So that's what I'm here to hopefully do and help do and experience.
The one thing I do want to ask you before I let you go here, Justin, is I admire guys like you, and especially in your career, because you were in Belgium, I believe. Go undrafted. You're in Belgium. I think you played there with Chris Copeland, who was once upon a time here as well. You've seen it all, man. You have seen it all, and it seems to me that you're a dude that always kind of plays with that chip on your shoulder, that little extra motivation that really helps you thrive, helps you learn, and helps you accomplish things. And, man, I think there is so much to say about that because a lot of guys just don't understand that particular path because they're just kind of brought right in, and here you go. It's right in front of you. But, man, you really had to fight through this, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did. And first of all, thank you, for those kind of words. But yeah, I mean, I've been around. I've experienced everything you pretty much can, as a basketball player, other than two-way contracts, which are newer those past couple of years. But I've played in the D League. I've played overseas. I've been cut by teams. I've been traded. I've for a while before I played with the Bulls, I went on the same team twice. In 2 years. So I've done it all, experienced it all, and my path has, made me the person, the basketball player I am today, but, most importantly, the man I am today. I feel like I am able to help a lot of different type of players in their journey, Yeah, I mean, if I can do it, any kid that gets drafted to this league for sure can do it. So yeah, I think I'll be a good piece of the team, not only on the court, but off the court, as well as being able to help mentally, being able to help with, the experiences that these kids are going to go through. Because I hate to call them kids because they're not little boys, but at the same time, I guess I am the oldest player on this team. So
You're only 30, man. Come on.
Yeah, but when you're 30 in the NBA, the younger ones make sure you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm not old, but again, I will be the oldest. But yeah. I mean, my experiences have made me who I am. I mean, I haven't missed a game probably ever in my life that I can remember. I'll probably miss a few when I was younger, maybe being sick. But since I've been in the NBA, because I know what it's like to be in the other side. I know what it's like to not play. I know what it's like to be cut, from teams, not having a contract. So I make sure every time I'm able to play on the floor that, I give everything I can. And I'm just, that's just how thankful I am to be able to play this game.
Yeah, here's how I view it, too, because fans in this state, Indiana is known for basketball, and they love basketball. And when I'm reading about your story and your background to get you to where you are as a 30-year-old NBA player, that shows a deeply rooted love for the game of basketball that I think everybody around here will obviously appreciate out of you. I think that's pretty cool, honestly.
Oh, thank you. And I hope they do appreciate it. That's another thing I was trying to find in a place to go, is a place I would be appreciated for, what I bring, for who I am, and just to be able to find a home that way. So, hopefully this is it.
That's Justin Holiday right there. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. And in closing, too, I'm sure you've never played on a team that has as many TJs and Holidays as this one, too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, this would be the one for sure.
It is. Hey, seriously, great conversation. I appreciate you, and we'll catch up again. Yeah, find out that thing with your dad one of these days and double back with me and tell me how that went, if he has any recollection, if you would, too.
All right, I will for sure.
All right, Justin.
I want to know, so.
I do too, man, and the people out there want to know, too. And we'll enjoy watching you play. Thanks, Justin. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much.
It's Justin Holiday right there on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Seriously, though, if you look back on his career, I think maybe around 2011 is when he came out of Washington. He was, and even it wasn't given to him at Washington either. I mean, he had to work for it there, and then he started in Belgium and then had to work from Europe. And as he mentioned, he's been signed and cut and traded. Played for a couple of teams twice, and that shows a great deal of love. And coming from somebody that loves the game of basketball like me too, loves to play it, wish they could play it, wish they were better, wish they didn't suck. But coming from somebody like me with that in mind, I'm truly appreciative of that. So I think that's pretty cool. And at least in doing the research I did on Justin before he came on the show, I thought that was a really neat thing. Justin Holiday's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Stuff to give away. We'll tell you about that. More Colts stuff, more Luck stuff, and getting you set for the rest of a very busy week. We're back with you next.
Powered by the Hubler Auto Group, a dealer to help the people. Shopping for a new or used vehicle? Click drivehubler.com for Indiana's largest selection of best deals. Hubler has it all.
Win tickets to Knockfest Roadshow featuring Slipknot at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center August 16th. Details 1075thefan.com.
You still haven't gotten that exterior painting job done yet, have you? Well, don't worry. You still have time thanks to your neighborhood CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. And just like at my house, you will love the results. CertaPro Painters of Indianapolis is extending their 20th anniversary special of a free interior wall paint upgrade for any project completed by September 1st. Give CertaPro Painters a call to get on the schedule before the outdoor painting season comes to an end at 800-GO-CERTA or go to CertaPro.com. And remember, Certa is spelled with a C. CertaPro Painters. We do painting, you do life.
Hoosier fans, Indiana football tickets are on sale now for the 2019 season. IU football hosts 6 home games this fall, including matchups against Big Ten East rivals, the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Michigan Wolverines. Fans can purchase single-game tickets as low as $20 and $200 for season tickets. For complete ticket information, visit IUHoosiers.com today. Go IU!
You thought the beef and cheddar couldn't get any more delicious. And then Arby's added bacon to it. And you thought, oh, okay, but it can't get any better than that. And then Arby's made them 2 for $6. And then you thought, okay, but no, it can't get any better than that. And you were right. The bacon, beef, and cheddar, 2 for $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
Hey, let's get this thing going, too. It is the best, and I mean the absolute best, pre-game party anywhere. And that's why with BullseyeEventGroup.com, you see other NFL markets doing this and working with Kyle Kinnett and wanting to take it, to their market with their fans. That's the greatness you get right here, where it all started with BullseyeEventGroup.com and the Colts VIP tailgate. It's your best game day experience across the board. You go there, all you can eat, all you can drink. You got DJ Skids, DJ Indiana Jones. You got me doing some radio. It really is. It is a fantastic time. And now add this to the equation. We are all going to go. If you want, what a great holiday gift-giving idea. Mid-December, right around the 16th, that Monday nighter in New Orleans, we're going down there. We're going to do the show live from down there, and we're all going to that Monday night game at the Dome in New Orleans. So check it out online, BullseyeEventGroup.com. The brand new, again, state-of-the-art Bullseye Event Center, the premier event center directly across from Lucas Oil Stadium. That's where you're going to find the best party around. Every game day, every NFL game day for the Colts with the Bullseye Event Center with BullseyeEventGroup.com. Again, for more information on our getaway in December to New Orleans or how you could be involved in the best pregame party around, BullseyeEventGroup.com today.
It's the flashback sale at Mattress Firm. We're celebrating the year we were founded with a special price from 1986. A flashback price of $169 on a new Sleepy's Queen mattress. Plus, get up to $400 off throwback deals on beds. And Wednesday through Sunday, take home a free adjustable base with a purchase of just $599. But hurry in, these awesome blast from the past savings won't last forever. Your budget stretches further at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply, valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
You won't believe all you get included from T-Mobile for just $40 a line when you get 4 lines with AutoPay. Start with unlimited talk, text, and data on our network to use as much as you want, when you want. Like when you stream your favorite shows and movies, which you'll be doing all the time since Netflix is included with your family plan. Plus, you don't have to worry about nasty surprises on your bill. The price we say is the price you pay. And now, you get free phones for the whole family. Every new line comes with one of our latest smartphones free. So hurry into T-Mobile where it's all included.
Customers using over 50 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds. Video at 480p, Revelry free via monthly credits for well-qualified customers. 0 down plus $834 per month for 24 months. Pre-credit price $200. 0% APR. Qualifying service and finance agreement required. If you cancel, credit stop and remaining balance due. Receive Netflix Basic one screen up to $8.99 per month value. While taxes and fees vary by locale, you always pay just $160 for 4 lines of monthly service. That's $152.89 rate plan plus $711 taxes and fees.
For the extraordinary Hoosiers who grow our food, feed our minds, make us safe, and keep us free. An extraordinary celebration. Your Indiana State Fair salutes heroes in the heartland with a party of heroic proportions featuring fantasy superheroes and Hoosier homegrown real ones. Heroes in the Heartland, presented by Indiana Donor Network. Your Indiana State Fair, August 2nd through 18th.
Call Crown Haven Wealth Advisors for your custom retirement plan at 844-896-7233 and online at crownhaven.com.
Red Sox, Yankees, Sunday Night Baseball. The coverage begins at 6 on FM 107.5, The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Ahoy, boy.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, Justin Holiday was really good. Let's podcast that one. 1075thefan.com, if you please. Turn it up. Number 10 at 239-1070 right now. You guys want to go see Alice in Chains? Ooh. Woo, woo. That sounds just like Lane Staley right there. Yeah. Yeah. August 20th, the Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. Korn and Alice in Chains. Number 10 is going to go on us. If you missed Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains, the originator of the group from a couple of weeks ago, that's up at 1075thefan.com as well. Number 10, 239-1070 is going to go. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. Korn and Alice in Chains, the 20th of August. Those tickets are yours. And thank you, Live Nation. I have not thanked Kyle and Kimmy and the gang enough. Love you guys for what you do for me. Really do. Man, what a day. This has really been a fantastic lineup. Dan Orlovsky, who got confused when I said Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline and referenced me as Andy a couple of different times. If you heard those moments, that's priceless stuff. Plus, as good a breakdown as you're going to find any place on the upcoming NFL season, on luck, on the AFC South, and more. You can find that on the podcast as well. 1075thefan.com. Dan Orlovsky from ESPN. Kevin Bowen, front side, backside with Kevin Bowen. And Clayton Geathers between, all over Colts camp with Kevin. And then Clayton Geathers, the safety, jumped on here too and sold it to you that he is feeling good. And then Justin Holiday. Justin Holiday, I'd never had a conversation with him, but it's funny. You talk to some people, and it kind of seems like you guys have talked before. You have a very comfortable conversation with the new Pacer and the older brother of current Pacer Aaron Holiday. They will not live together. They will not be roomies. And he just joined us, too. That podcast as well. 1075thefan.com. Now, this has been a really good day. Appreciate you. Trade deadline today. The Reds getting rid of Tanner Roark, getting rid of Scooter Gennett, and then yesterday it was Puig. Tomorrow's show, I can't wait for this either. I mean, he has the preparation for the college football season. Phil Steele will join us on this show tomorrow. Mike Chappell, CBS 4, Fox 59, on this show tomorrow. I don't know who's coming on for the Colts, but somebody's going to come on from the Colts on this show tomorrow. Tucker Barnhart, Reds catcher, this show tomorrow. And I don't know if what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm talking to Boys to Men tomorrow, and I don't care if you like it. I may just keep it for myself, but I can't wait. Me and Boys to Men. I'll be like another bad creation to their Boys to Men. More chances to win, and I need some live look-ins from Larry County for the Gathering of the Juggalos extravaganza, which begins tomorrow as well. Kyle, great job out of you. Back with you tomorrow at 3. Have a great night.
It's the Fan Morning Show with